out to Sunkiss, Secret Sister, TBG, Materials. Guys, if you could, please go ahead and tweet it out. We're going to be talking about defund the police. We're going to be talking about reparations. We're going to be talking about LBGTQ. And we're going to try to cover a few other issues as well that's concerning. This is a town hall. This is just about issues that's pressing the Black community today. And you guys already know that Newstoter is the #1 curator of Black news today in America. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to also add some things in the jumbotron, just some of the actual some of the police interactions with Black people, just to let you guys know, so you can actually get a little look and see what's going on. So let me go ahead and add that in. Just want to thank you guys for coming in. We will be adding this into the jumbotron. So thank you guys once again for coming through. We got a number of issues that we want to cover tonight, number of topics that we want to talk about. So definitely appreciate you guys coming through tonight, joining us. Definitely know how our spaces go. We appreciate having you here, most definitely. So thank you once again for coming supporting the space. Like I say, tweet it out to your followers if you can. That would definitely be a big help to us. So go ahead and most definitely tweet it out. We see how our reparation claim right now is being targeted by other groups trying to grift on it. So I want to thank all of you guys for coming in. Like I said, we're going to be talking about reparations, defund the police, and the LGBTQ. Like, what's their role in all of this? What's their role in terms of the Black community? What's their role in terms of, having a FBA Black First type agenda? Are they Democratic shields? Are they actually down for the cause and whatnot? So we cover a number of issues tonight. Just waiting for this shortly. But I'm going to go over just a couple of headlines. Of course, everybody knows about the Jalen Walker incident. And you had Jacob Blake's father was there, and he ended up getting beat so bad that he suffered an actual seizure. So that's one issue that, like I said, you guys can check out the jumbotron as well just to see what's going on. We had last week in Minneapolis, we had a police chase in which we had a 6-year-old girl got killed because the police was in a reckless pursuit of a criminal, so to speak. Couldn't catch him, was unsuccessful. Ended up injuring a 15-year-old girl who's still in the hospital. Ended up killing a 6-year-old girl. We also had a brother that was in prison for 44 years, wrongfully accused of a sex crime against 2 white girls. 44 years that this man was locked up in there. We haven't heard anything about police. We haven't heard anything about defund the police anymore, even though it propelled the Democrats in the office. Back during the George Floyd incident, that's all anybody talked about was defund the police, helping to end qualified immunity. And it helped get Joe Biden into the office, but it has not come to fruition yet. So we're still waiting. We're still trying to see. We're also trying to push the reparation movement. We're trying to push that agenda in many places, in many capital cities throughout the country. You're going to have a pull-up type event that a lot of Security Tribe and other members of the grassroots are pushing for. So definitely stay involved with that. I know Tariq Nasheed's supposed to be in DC. Got another grad group members that's going to be going all over the country and stuff, and in their states, in their cities, in their capitals, going ahead and asking for that reparations agenda, asking to end illegal immigration, asking to cap legal immigration, asking to make the Black Americans FBA into a protected class the same way Asians have been a protected class. So these are all important issues, all important things that we need to keep an eye out for. So just try to do your best to keep an eye out on this, because this is very vital. This is very important to the cause. So all you guys that have any family members, any friends that you think may potentially want to participate, volunteer, go ahead and let them know. Let them know that the grassroots will have boots on the ground in all of these major cities. Like I said, we'll also be discussing the LGBTQ role, because LGBTQ is also another protected class. LGBTQ, so many of their members actually have a LGBTQ mindset and agenda first and a black secondary. They consider themselves, you know, discriminated because of their sexual preference and not so their race. So this is something that is definitely been creating a big divide. At one time, you had people like James Baldwin who would definitely go out of his way and let you know that he was a black man. He thought he was a black man. He took care of business as a black man. His sexuality was secondary. But now you can see with a lot of the trolls on right here on Twitter, that's no longer the case. A lot of these people consider themselves, gay first, LGBT first, non-binary, all these other pronouns and all these other things that they done created and came up with that I can't even keep up with. So we would definitely be discussing a bunch of issues tonight. Anybody has a question, they're more than welcome to go ahead and step up in. Like I say, just waiting for some of the members to come in tonight, but we can also get this conversation started. Our main thing tonight is just having a town hall just to, just to discuss what's going on in the black community right now, because there's so much going on that we can't even keep track of it every week, every day. It seems like somebody black is being gunned down in the streets, killed every day. You have another group up there talking about the reparations claims seem to be really trying to drift on the topic. So we want to go ahead and we want to put our heads together. We want to talk about exactly. We see the con game in Evanston that went on. We saw how Asheville fell with their reparations. St. Louis has something going on. What's interesting right now, the reparations coming that you do have Oregon, going and trying to possibly talking about giving those descendants of American slaves up to $100 and some thousand. It has not been finalized, but it is on the books. So that is something that we will be looking into. Guys, one moment, please. Was that Brian? Yeah, I'm cold. Chase, what's going on? I see you up in the spot too. I see you up in the spot as well. Now, Chase, I've been seeing you in quite a few spots today. I see Miss Giselle up in the spot, so I want to say hello to all you guys. You guys go ahead and go ahead and not what I was going to say. Go ahead and tweet out the actual space. We want to get everybody's opinion. Those that want to speak tonight, just on about the defund the police, reparations, LGBTQ, the actual role of what they consider LGBTQ in the black community in terms of advancing the grassroots struggle. We also want to hear about the defund the police, also qualified immunity, ending that. How real a possibility is that? Why Democratic candidates running away from that issue? It seemed to help them build up momentum and put Joe Biden in the office, but now all the black Democrats seem to go ahead and cast a doubt on that. They don't want to hear anything brought up about defund the police. They consider it a losing topic, a losing situation. They want to distance themselves as much as possible from that situation. So we just like to get everybody's opinion, everybody's thoughts, everybody what they share. The other day we had also, when we're talking about defund the police, we had a man in Georgia suffered 40 bites. He was wrongfully arrested, and they sicked the canine unit on him. This brother got bit 40 times. So he's trying to sue the department down there in Georgia. So, like I said, every single solitary day, we're having an issue. We're having some problems going on with the actual police department. The violence seems to escalate against black people. What are some other alternatives we have except just marching in the street and just picketing or whatever? What more can be done? Seems like our complaints are not being heard, our issues are not being heard. So we want to know how we can advance our movement, how we can also incorporate the fund the police, qualified immunity into the actual reparation talk as well, because it has been ignored. It's been ignored by the Democratic Party. It's ignored by the Republican Party. In fact, Republicans use the defund the police talk to go ahead and undermine Democrats. So how can we hold Democrats accountable when they get 90% of the black vote in this country? So, like I said, we will be covering quite a few issues and whatnot. I just want to cover this one. Chase, I see you requested to speak, so go ahead and unmute your mic. Right. Chase, you requested to speak. Whenever you or sister want to speak, you just go ahead and raise your hand, and I will gladly go ahead and let you guys go ahead and get a chance to speak. Chase, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Newstoter, Toter, I respect you for opening this space. You've been pretty much basically been teasing us about it for the past week and a half. You know, you've been talking about the town hall, brother. So I just wanted to see what was going on, man, and you know, I got some ideas and some solutions on how to hit that stuff, man. But it's just you know, some people just don't have the stomach for it, brother. You know,
Well, brother, that's what a town hall is about. You just go ahead and you just freestyle it. You say what you feel. That's what that's what this town hall is about. We just go ahead and we let it be known what we feel, what we trying to do, and whatever. I mean, hey, like I say, when we come into these spaces, man, we putting our head together. There's no right or wrong answer. We understand that right now that there's a bunch of race soldiers out there that's targeting black people. We understand that the reparation movement is being hijacked every time we see an article coming out. You have every group in here. Now they just throwing a word around reparations. Like, growing up, I never used to hear reparations like that. I used to hear my man Tupac talk about reparations was due. Like, and now you got any and everybody sitting talking about reparations. They could be you bumped your knee in the third grade, but you're entitled to reparations. So it's like they just constantly taking the term and just driving it into the ground, And then, like I said, you got the LGBTQ. The LGBTQ is the black, and when I talk about LGBTQ, I'm talking about the black LGBTQ. The black LGBTQ has pushed their side so far to the most extreme liberal side there is in this country that everything think about is, like I say, is about the Democratic Party and about their sexual preference. They're like, the race is third dairy to them. They don't even care about race anymore. Like, to them, the hardest thing is being LGBTQ. They blame Black Americans, FBA. They consider us like the most biased, racist, closed-minded group of people in this country, when historically it was white people who came up with all the laws about LGBTQ. It was white people that was doing all of these testing and all of these modifications and all of this gender type stuff on them. But yet it's black people that they consider as the ones that you know have held them back, when it was black people's struggle that they latched on to, and they were able to ride the coattails to what you have now. So yeah, man, there's no right or wrong answers in here. Like I say, this is a town hall. This is just go ahead and open up to your mind, whatever you gotta say. You amongst, you know what I'm saying, you amongst your people up in here. And you know, y'all know me, when y'all get on the mic, I pretty much, unless somebody's just being disrespectful or just cutting up too much, I pretty much let people just go ahead and voice their opinions and say what they want to say. So everybody that's in the spot, please go ahead and tweet out the spot. Go ahead and tweet out the spot. Also, we got quite a few articles up in the jumbotron just showing you about some of the police brutality and some of the nonsense that they've been getting away with every day. Y'all know Newstoter, the kind of information we put out. It's not like a day or a week go by that there's not 3-4 cases just of somebody being shot. You got pregnant women being shot up here, man, and then you got juries sitting up here excusing and talking about the people was right and shooting. Now, how do you think they're gonna let you shoot a pregnant white woman and everybody sits up there and act like everything is okay? No, they don't let you shoot damn mass murderers up here. They make sure you take them to Burger King, and they make sure that you comb their hair and treat them so nice with kitty gloves and stuff. Yeah, you talk about a pregnant woman, you shoot. I mean, come on, man. That's why I say, Chase, man. What you want to say, brother? Go ahead and say it. Know what I'm saying? All I say is just, you know what I'm saying. Try to respect the room as much as possible, but go ahead and rip, man. I mean, like I said, that's what it's fun.
Oh yeah, brother. You know, I'll always keep it respectful and keep it funky for this, you know, just for the sake of our sisters being in here, man. But I've learned this a very, very long time ago, man. Violence and pain, bro. You know, that's the easiest way of bringing somebody around to your way of thinking. Violence and pain. You know, Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority have a saying, and they say, we teach people how to abuse us. You understand what I'm saying with that? We teach
yeah,
people how.
I understand.
Yeah, we teach people how to abuse us, and one way of getting somebody off of your ass is you exerting some violence and pain. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very touchy subject because I know folks ain't just gonna get out here and start fighting. And I'm not suggesting to anybody, hey, just go beat somebody up. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about for the instances where they do some shit like uh you, your wife, and your kid, you walking down the street, and some dude ain't got on no clothes running up to you. You know what I mean? What are you gonna pull out your phone and start recording? Are you gonna call the police? You know, you're supposed to beat the brakes off of him, beat his ass. And it's like folks will, what happened? What happened to people? And it's like, they get scared and they throw this jail thing up and everything. Man, look here, bro. For the sake of my family and for keeping things right, I believe in exacting violence and pain. You put enough of them on there, somebody's going to come around to your way of thinking. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? I need to leave this person alone.
Hey, Newstoter, how are you today?
Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry, I was talking, but I had my mic on. But let me come and get to you 1 second. But I'm sitting up here talking.
No, I was just pretty much. I came on to let you know that I'm pretty sure you was talking. That's why I came on to let you know that.
Thank you, sister. But Trace, you're right, man. We have a right to defend ourselves. We're gonna defend ourselves. Self-preservation is key. When your life is on your life is on the line, your family's life on the line. What you gonna just sit back there, like you say, and just record something and this and that? So, hey, I'm in agreement with you. Like, it's a respect. It's a respect level that they don't fear black people to a certain. They fear you. That's why they go in and shoot you and whatnot. But it's a respect. It's a level to the fact that they feel like, hey, black people are going to constantly keep taking these ass whoopings and going to constantly keep getting the crap beat out of them. So, hey, we might as well keep doing it because what are they going to do except go and burn down their own community? So that's the aspect, that's the mindset that they feel and whatnot when it comes to us in this country. They're like, what they gonna do except burn their own stuff down? So yeah, I'm with you on that. Like self-preservation, you put your hands on me, I'm gonna do my best for you to take your hands up off of me. And that, whether you got a badge on or not, that's just real. Like if my life is on the line, I'm not gonna, like George Floyd, respect to that brother, much respect to him, and I hate to see him like that. But if I had to go out, man, I mean, I'm not just gonna sit up there. If I got any fight in me, any strength in me, I'm not gonna sit up there while you got your foot on my throat and you choke me out and you send me to another world, man. I'm just gonna have to do that 5 to 10 that y'all gonna give me or whatever. But I'm damn sure gonna do my best. My damnedest to get the ball for you. I'm not gonna sit there and just. I'm sorry.
Well, brother Newstoter, look, I'm not going to sit around there and watch a damn cop with his knee on your neck. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So we have to look at those brothers that stood around that man and watch that shit. Y'all so pussified that all you can do is just break out your phone and just yell, "Oh, that's fucked up! Oh, that's fucked up!" You ain't got nothing else to say except, "Oh, that's fucked up." What are you doing? You crying and plead, man? Come on, please, bro. These some of these folks, they sit out here and they talk about what they will and what they can't do and everything. My humanity is going to keep me from fucking being from doing some stupid like pulling out a phone and start recording and holler at the cops. All it took was going to the corner, get one rock, one brick, or maybe somebody just running over and tackling the cop. Come on, bro. We can't deal with that scary shit in this day and time, man. Y'all sisters, let me tell y'all something. this is directed straight to y'all sisters, and I'm gonna respectfully say this. Y'all sisters, if you run around with that I don't need a man type of mindset, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. For y'all sisters that's got a man, this applies to you too. Go out and get your Second Amendment rights and exercise them. Take your ass to the gun range. Stop thinking that you so independent and that you the shit, because when it comes down to it, you can't beat no man up. Okay? If somebody comes up to your damn window, you have your gun out. You don't argue with no man out on the streets, because it don't make no sense for you to be arguing. You know, I want y'all sisters to think about this. Okay? Are you independent sisters? Are you good girls and whatever? I'm talking about my black sisters, man. This is a direct message to you. Do not argue with any man, period. Especially out on the streets and face to face. Okay? There's no need for you to be arguing, bumping gums with anybody. And I want y'all to realize something. These white folks do shit on purpose. They know that you are considered a soft target. I don't give a damn how independent you think you are. You can get beat up by a man. Your master's and your PhD is not going to fucking help you. Y'all need to get serious about exercising your Second Amendment right. You know what I mean? And come away with all of this stuff, you know, and, you know, come on, man. You have to think about this. These people, they know exactly what they're doing. They pick the softest damn targets. And y'all sisters need to go ahead and get y'all shit together. Start exercising y'all Second Amendment rights.
Hey, Chase, not to cut you off, but Bitcoin, I see that comment that you left a pretty funny comment there, brother. You want to come up to the mic as well? Because I know you said that sounds good on the internet, but you're more than welcome to come up and speak and just share your thoughts or whatever. Because I would love to hear, like, if somebody had you in that Derek Chauvin, George Floyd type chokehold, what you would do? If you just sit there and let them just choke the life out of you, or would you fight back? So, brother, please, by all means, I'm gonna give you an invite to come up and speak. So if you want to speak or whatever, by all means, and I'm respectful with it. If you want to come up and speak, by all means, go ahead and get the mic. I don't normally like put anybody in front of anybody else, but I would love to hear your views on this, because, like I say, I know you kind of say that sounds good on the internet, so I definitely want to hear that. Chase, go ahead and go ahead and finish up. And like I say, Bitcoin, you go ahead. Once he's finished, if you want to go up and speak, brother, by all means, y'all go ahead and tweet out the space too, man. Y'all tweet out the space for us, and let's go ahead and send it out to your followers, because this is going to be a good conversation tonight.
Yeah, brother, man, thank you for having this space, man. And I'm gonna tell you, man, somebody that says something like that, you know, that lets me know where their mindset is at. They are a weak person. Okay, I'm sitting up here trying to spread a message to my sisters and to my brothers. Period. There's not a goddamn thing wrong with exercising your Second Amendment rights. And when you get somebody come up in here being anti-progressive, being somebody who's against black people defending themselves because they got some smart ass shit to say, you know what I mean? That just puts you in the mindset of where they at. You know, and sisters, I want y'all to realize something. When the brothers ask you to go start exercising your Second Amendment right because you're unprotected, because you're a soft target, you know, don't take that as somebody trying to tell you what to do. That's just somebody trying to help you be safe. And I land my plane on that.
No doubt. I appreciate you, brother. Bitcoin, But brother, you want to go ahead and speak on it? I know you got your hand up, but I definitely love to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. What's going on?
Well, you never know what you're gonna do until you're in that situation, right?
Yep, go ahead.
It sound good to talk about it on the internet, but when it happens, what you gonna do? Some niggas freeze up like spark plugs. You feel me?
I feel you, bro. So
it sounds good to talk about it on the internet, but let's deal with it when it happens.
So
right?
let me ask you a quick question, brother. Like if like I say, if the shoe was reversed and it was on your
I ain't
foot,
gonna talk about it on the internet, brother. I ain't gonna see what I'm gonna do on the internet. I ain't no internet game. Feel me?
I feel you, but I'm saying
it's to be seen, not heard. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, bro, I'm gonna tell you like my dad told me as a young boy. He said you go ahead and you do your best to avoid trouble and you try to walk away from a fight if you can. He's like, but sometimes you can't walk away. In that George Floyd situation, there was no walking away. Only thing George Floyd.
Bro, I'm from the hood, right? Niggas say they gonna shoot until niggas start shooting. And you see niggas running with their guns. So, you know what I mean? It sound good on the internet.
Well, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Bullets start flying.
I'm gonna tell you like
this. Who really gonna be standing there?
Well, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this here. There's been loads of people that have fought back when the cops was up there about to choke their life out and about to kill them and whatnot. I know it sounds good.
Look up Lavelle Mixon from Oakland, California. I know about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look up Lavelle Mixon.
So I'm saying that wouldn't be the first case in point that you had somebody that said, well, hey, I ain't finna be killed, or I'm not finna be killed like this here. So I get what you're saying. Now, yeah, people talk all the time, and people like Mike Tyson used to say, going into the ring, everybody's got a plan till they get hit in the mouth. So yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. But I'm saying there is something called self-preservation too. That when a person's life is on the line, they find strength and they're able to do things that they normally wouldn't be able to do. So I definitely feel you on that right there. I'm not gonna go ahead. I know I'll go ahead and I'll get to somebody else, but yeah, definitely appreciate you. Like I said, I saw the comments, so I just wanted to kind of hear what you had to say about it. Secret, go ahead, unmute your mic. Secret, you there?
Yeah, I couldn't unmute it. It wasn't coming on. I want to say hi to everybody. Did you get that? I sent you a message in your message thing, and I don't know if you noticed. There was a 4-year-old that he seen the white cop pull his dad over, and it's sad because he's 4, and he shot the cop because he pulled his dad over. And as far as I'm assuming, as far as he thought, you're not gonna kill my dad. And that's sad when that's all a 4-year-old can see in a cop. But I come from the era where we policed ourselves. That's where the Black Panthers and all that. That's where that started. We policed ourselves. We need to find our warriors. That way, women can find their place because we have just messed up the family, the whole family schematic, period. And we need to get back. That's the one thing we need to go back and grab how they did that and bring that to now, because I think we're better as a couple than we are apart, because they're trying to make male and female fight. They also, you know, they don't understand. They don't understand. They put out this thing saying there will be. It is said that there will be a civil war within 2 years, and I tweeted out. I said, "You guys are dumb." Because I'm talking to the government, and they listen and they see my tweet, and I said, because you showed us your hand before you even picked up the rock, because they're telling us get ready for war. Now, whether we're in it, whether they're talking about us or not, they're trying to put fear. No one is fearless as a black person. We done been through everything. It was that I sent you I tweeted out a few articles of what was going. Oh, it's another guy. It's a Chinese gentleman. It's a Chinese man, and he got caught raping little kids. I think 5 years old and all that. And I put on the thing. I'm probably going to do a space. I'm gonna be talking to you, Newstoter, because I don't know how to do that stuff. But I'm probably going to do a space on R. Kelly. His case is coming up, whether you like him or not, whether you like his music or not. Considering I investigated everything. I have so much evidence that will tell you, oh, they're lying. These women were not children, first of all. R. Kelly's 55 and they are 49 and things like that. But we need to get his name kind of buzzing on a good note. Like, nobody's talking about how he was married for 14 years. Nobody's talking about he has 3 children by the same women, and stuff like that.
I know we talking about R. Kelly, but let's kind of like try to.
No, it was going into the LGBT too, okay, because remember how they were saying that it was 2 guys that came up there, and I just want to ask. This is one thing, and I think it's G.S. Javelle or Miss Javelle. Wait, is it T.S. Giselle?
Yeah, T.S.
Okay, I would like to ask one question, and the thing is I have seen a lot of I don't want to disrespect it, so I'm gonna just say the other. I don't what other word could I use? T.S. You would know what the
I don't know. I am not T.S.
That's
so look, just do it.
That's not. Hold on.
Okay, well I'll just because she doesn't represent all.
Yeah, just a quick mute. That's not T.S. That's Miss Giselle. That's an actual woman. Not to make fun of the other one, but this is actual woman, actual female. So no, I get what you. I know, but that's not her. That's Miss Giselle. That's one of Newstoter's loyal followers. So no, ma'am. That just to correct you, sister. And I'm gonna go ahead and unmute your mic. Go ahead.
And I don't want to cut you off.
I am so sorry.
My name. I was born. No, I was born with my mother named me Giselle, and then this man, or whatever, is killing my name. I'm a whole woman.
I am so Miss
Ain't nothing about me. I don't even halfway look like a man.
My sister, I apologize. I am so sorry. Well, everybody in here can answer, whether it's LGBT in here or not. I'm just curious. I have seen multiple gay people, and when I see them, I have a cousin. They're married, which I don't, they're married, But my thing is other than them, I don't know any that's in an actual relationship. So then I have to ask myself, is it more of a I'm just gonna call it gay for attention at this point? Because are you guys, every one of them they're not having sex with somebody. I just think
I don't know, sister, but let me
I didn't ask how old who's asked how old is somebody?
I did.
How old am I? That's my picture right there. How old I look? I'm 60. Okay, wait a minute. I'm 60 something. I'm 60 something.
Go ahead, 60-something. Go ahead.
But I think I look. Yeah, but I think I look quite well. Look at me. Thank you.
Wait. Lawrence, give me 1 second before we get to you. Sister, we're going to come back to you, but we're going to go around the room because you kind of had a long question because we got Ray, Giselle, we got Lawrence, Black Native. waiting. So let's come back to you because
okay, I'm sorry, Giselle. Please accept my apology. I apologize, and I'll go on mute.
And everybody in the space, make sure y'all tweet out the space as well. But Ray, go ahead, unmute your mic. And y'all, we talking about anything. Y'all want to talk about defund the police, reparations, LGBTQ, and their stance in the black community. All of that's for fair game tonight. So go ahead. You can just go ahead if you want to go to reparations, you want to go to the LGBTQ or whatever. That's more than fine. So go ahead and unmute your mic, Ray.
Peace to everyone in the room. I came in the room a little late, so I wanted to see if anyone has touched on the young brother in San Bernardino, California, that was shot in his back after the police rolled up with a unmarked police car and shot him.
I think that might be one of the links, Ray, that I have in the Jumbotron. Because, like I say, I come across this stuff every day, and it's sad to say, man, that this stuff is just all just meshing in. It's not more than 2-3 days come in where I'm not seeing 2-3 things like pregnant women, unarmed black men, just you name it. The craziest stuff was happening. Damn, in Georgia, they sick a damn canine. They sick the canine. You know, the man, he gets bit 40 times, and he's wrongfully arrested and stuff. So you can't make this stuff up, bro. Like I say, every day, every other day, at least 3-4 incidents a week on Newstoter. You know, we curate the news, so we seeing all of this stuff, man. Like I say, to me, it's just I can't even it's hard for me to separate. You saw Jacob Blake Sr. got the crap beat up out there at Jalen Walker's protest and whatnot. Man had a seizure. Like you can't make this stuff up. The amount of violence, the sanctioned violence by the police going against black people, man. So
I had put that out because I had got that from my cousin who is a agent or whatever, but she had said this is retarded, and he was like running for his life. It's sad. They just shot him in his back.
Ray, you got anything else you like I say, check the Jumbotron because I believe I know that, and I know I did tweet that article out this week. And sometimes from some of the sources, you know, like one source might be ahead of another one, so one might tweet it out, one might publish it on the platform one day, and then one might come the next day. So I know I already tweeted that out about that kid from San Bernardino. So just check the Jumbotron. I didn't put all of the try to put a decent amount of like articles on there just about the police and just the nonsense that they've been doing or whatever.
I think you did. You did put it out a few times because I had off of yours. I liked it, and then I retweeted it. So I think you did put it out.
Ray, you got anything else you want to ask?
Well, I just want to add this. July, what's the date? 20th, 21st. This is around the anniversary of the sister Lavina Johnson. I just wanted to make sure we keep her in that memory. That's a young sister that was in the Army that they found. I want to say like skull was beaten in, she was strangled, she had acid poured on the general. It was a giant cover up from what allegedly by the U.S. Army and some other people. I just wanted to just make sure we don't forget about that sister on her. I believe it's 10-year transition.
Oh yeah, the U.S. Army is good for doing that kind of stuff too, and they have a lot of incidents and stuff like that in the Army that they've been sweeping underneath the rug, and they finally starting to kind of talk about it more and more and more because you have a lot more of these women, family members and stuff speaking out about it. Like some of these women just mysteriously get killed and been abused and this and that. So yeah, definitely shout out to you on that, Ray. Thank you for bringing that up because, like I said, the Army's been getting away with quite a bit of shenanigans for a long time. Miss Giselle, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, the real and the original. I was I wanted to say a couple of things. Chase, yes, I'm laughing. That is so crazy now. Anyway, I'm 100% with you. I always go to the range. And as for my, I'm actually getting ready to take my kids to the range. But right now, this is what I would suggest that all of us do. We have to stop. Like we've gotten into the position we've been conditioned to call terrorist cops. Like it humanizes them. It kind of like gives them the Christian label with a little dysfunction or a little with a little I can't come up with the word right now. But fact is, these are terrorists. When they attack us, we need to call them what they are. They're not just attacking black women. I know black women and children and elderly are the soft targets, but they're really attacking who we seeing getting gunned down in the street? The black men. Because the key is if you kill the biggest, this is buck breaking 10.0 right now. But it's not the raping on the plantation, it's the executions to scare other black Negroes into submission. So they had to amp up a lot of things with us here in America because we always fought back, and we still do. As far as now, I mean, we can swing, we can fight. They're gonna still. We can even shoot. We get one gun. You saw what happened with the one with the gun in the car, and they lied and say he shot at him. What happened? They all of them shot like 90 times at the man. So this is us having to call out the terrorists. We have to stop humanizing these people. What happened at Sesame Street? These people are being humanized. Employees at Sesame Place. No, terrorists at Sesame Place. We have to stop giving these white people these. I'm sorry, I'm freezing because my kids got the air conditioning on like 59. But we have to stop giving these people these human titles and these titles when they're really doubles. That's what I came up here to say. And as for all of the brothers and sisters getting shot, we're watching in real time our ethnocide and our genocide. And if we don't stand up against it, we don't have a choice these days. We're gonna lose if we don't stand up against it. I actually had pulled over with a lot of youth. It was probably 7 kids outside, walking down. It's a place here in Baltimore called and a cop literally rebel on them. They wasn't doing anything. It was just walking. So I pulled over with the cops, and my thing is, as a mother, I'm like, hey, those are teenagers. They'll call your mothers, call your parents now. And then the cops, because now those kids are not free. But we need more people to do that because I feel like who are really vulnerable right now, yeah, women, I'm sure, but our children are the ones that's really catching the beat down. As soon as they opened up the country, the first order of task for these white people was to start executing and attacking black people. If you don't believe me, look at what happened since the world opened up, since America opened up. They was already doing it when we were partially closed. Now it's like on steroids. So anyway, we gotta protect the entire tribe. Man, woman, child, old or young, alike. And I land.
Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and tweet out the space. I'm looking at the tweets, but we ain't getting the tweets out there. Go ahead and support the largest curator of Black news today. We go ahead and tweet it out and let your people know that we holding the space a town hall. We don't have many town halls here on Black issues here on Twitter. We have a lot of rooms, but we don't have a whole lot of town halls. And this is a town hall, and I may be holding more town halls as well too, just so we can go ahead and air out some grievances, air out some issues that's affecting us and whatnot. I like to go ahead. One thing about the space is sometimes we have one issue we talk about, but I really prefer to talk about multiple topics. You know, that's my thing in particular. I know a lot of people say, hey, just stick to one thing and we can conversate better. But my thing is that even when you have one topic you're speaking on, people still gonna stray and go off topic. They still gonna talk about different things as well. So you go and tweet out the space. It doesn't take anything. Oh, you got the button right down there. All you got to do is hit the tweet it out. The people to see it. They'll come to the space if they want to. They might not come. Either way, we still gonna conversate. We still gonna have a good conversation going on here. I appreciate everybody that's up in the spot tonight. I believe Lawrence, you're next. Go ahead and unmute your mic, and if you can, those that can support us on Cash App, it's $Newstoter. It's in the jumbotron. That's $Newstoter. We also have our Venmo and PayPal link up in there as well. Lawrence, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's up, Newstoter?
What's going on?
Nothing much. I wanted to respond to that dude about the George Floyd, but he bounced. I'm glad y'all brought a lot of that up. I just wanted to remind using special maneuvers, you know what I'm saying, and had his arm and his finger bent in certain ways that he couldn't move. Just remember that. Like he was immobilized and trained to do that. But I feel you, Newstoter, and I think Chase, I'd have been going like a damn wild animal, whatever, in my mind, but I wasn't. That ain't Jesus, that's damn. But defund the police, reimagine, rip it down, tear down the whole thing, blow up the building, and start it up from scratch. And spend more money. I don't mind spending more money. It ain't gonna be the same system. You know what I'm saying? I believe in community policing, where our communities are, and I believe that all policing should be federally governed, because community policing means you go to drive through white neighborhoods, those police represent that community also. So it needs to be governed with a federal set of rules that they have to follow. So biased people in those municipalities aren't running everything. So that's it for me. And then LGBT is not a black issue. It just ain't. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who are preconditioned, with their mind, very ignorant, and I won't call their names out, where they look for opportunities, with hashtags like that, with the inflammatory, and I know, inflammatory mindset, from a preconditioned mindset to be homophobic is a white man's doctrine. We get it from Caucasian Christianity that was given to us on the plantation. If you share any ideology with the KKK members, niggers, gays, and Jews, then you need to check yourself if you're believing anything that they believe. But LGBT is not a gay issue. I'm not a black issue. If you are a parent, especially if you in your home as a father, which is another black issue, fatherless home. If you're fathering your son, if you're teaching and guiding your son, as a matter of fact, my best friend's son has been at my house the past month because his father is not in his life. You know, but if you're parenting, if you're mothering, if you're guiding, if you're at school, if you're training up your child in the way that they should go, then you should give a damn about an LGBT. LGBT has their own agenda. Like we as black people, our agenda is these reparations. Our agenda is this damn racist ass criminal justice system that we need to flip upside down, you know? Um, but if it's hell with whoever, whatever her name is, or how does somebody do what, or a rainbow?
T.S. the hell. T.S. the hell.
Yeah, I can't say it. I can't say it, and nothing against her, but that is an internet clout chasing person trying to get followers of attention. That doesn't represent any people, even though I don't know any trans people. Like in this space last night, I told her, like, you should use this as an opportunity to represent your group of people in the right way. Nevertheless, LGBT is not a black issue. Our issues are the things that are our agenda. Police reform, reparations, and everything that's crippling us in this nation as black people. And with that, I'll land and I'll here for whatever question.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. And my thing with the defund the police, and like I said, y'all go ahead too if y'all want to speak on the reparations and you pretty much covered the whole basis there. But my thing with the defund the police, when you start talking to other black people about it, they act like you're talking about just getting rid of the police altogether. All you simply saying is that, hey, all I want to do is go ahead and go ahead and cut funding on these people that's constantly attacking black people, constantly killing them, unprovoked black people, unarmed black people. Why should I give if you're the NYPD and your budget is $50 million and you done killed 3-4 unarmed black people, you got all kind of police brutality charges against you and everything to these people, this group of people. Why should you get the full $50 million? Why shouldn't your funding be cut in half? Why shouldn't the people that's on there also lose their jobs and whatnot? I mean, and this is the part I just don't understand with black people as a whole. Like, I mean, they act like you sitting up there talking about, well, as soon as something happened to the police, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna wish that you can get up there and have the police. And I'm saying we're not talking about cutting the police off. We're simply saying that those that are constant violators or whatnot, they need. They need to go. Like I don't understand that what people are talking about. Like if you're a constant violator, you need to go. I see we got a couple people requesting, so those that's not speaking right now, I'm gonna have to go ahead because we got other people requesting. So um, if you guys can raise your hand, and we'll go ahead and put you up there. If you're not speaking at this moment, then we can go ahead and move you down just in case. And you can always raise your hand at the people that's up there that's not trying to get up there as well. So we can definitely, we just want to kind of keep the flow going in the room and whatnot as much as possible. Black Native, you're up next. Black Native, you're up next.
Thank you for having me, Newstoter. Hey, Lawrence, hey, sister, and Chase and other people that's in the room. And Miss Enough is Enough. I have to speak to my sister there. Beautiful woman. But the defunding of police, if we need the police to police ourselves, we all know the history of how, the police departments formed. It was slave catchers, and they're doing exactly what they're paid to do. This time, because they can't put us in, well, they can't say that because then they throw us in jail and lock us up for 50 years for crimes we didn't commit, and they get free labor. But they're just doing execution at this point. So as men, I don't understand, like when like they had the Deacons of Defense, and it was a group of black men who saw what was going on, because this has been going on for a very long time, and they got together and they said, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to protect our community, we're going to protect our women and our children. Right now, it just seems like it's open season. And I'm wondering, is there a need to have, do they need to have another Million Man March? And this time, if they do that, what's the agenda? Because this has to stop. Because they're not going to stop killing black people. There's no punishment. They don't go to jail. They might lose their job. They still get their pensions. That's another thing. Snatch away the pension. See, these police unions are strong. We got to dismantle the police unions. And I know that seems like it's hard to do, but if we really want this to stop, we're going to have to come up with a solution and say, look, it's been out of hand. But like you said, every day you do the news, and it's just nonstop murder, kill, shoot, run over, sick dogs on people. It's just like enough is enough. So I think that the pensions, they need to go snatch that shit. If they got anything in their savings account, snatch it. Their checking account, snatch it. The kids' funds, snatch it. Take anything that they might have of value, turn it into what you say, liquidate it, and give it to the victims. I wonder if they would think twice about murdering people. But see, there's no punishment. All they could do is lose their job, just like Tamir Rice, the fucking white piece of shit that killed that 12-year-old boy, Tamir Rice. He almost got another job, I think in Philly or somewhere in Pennsylvania, as a cop. So he would be right back up there doing the same shit. They'll fire him. None of them go to jail. So what is stopping them? What is the thing that's going to make them say, you know what, we got to stop? We have to come up with something to say, you know what, we don't need you. Why can't we police ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we have police ourselves? Or if we do have police, why can't we have police officers, black police officers, patrolling black communities? And they have to come from these communities. We need to make these demands. Second thing, reparations. Yeah, we need that. I mean, that's going to be a fight of our lives, and I'm ready for it, and everybody else in here is ready for that fight. Because I mean, once we do get our money, we can actually try to build our own police departments, our own communities within the United States. And a lot of times when I speak about that, people like, shut up, don't talk about that. But I mean, it has to be said. The LGBTQ not the some black LGBTQ members have joined the bandwagon with white supremacy. They feel like they can get the little trinkets and the crumbs that they'll throw down to them. So they've come and actually linked on to black people's fights, and like they're trying to say we're all one and we're all the same. We have our brothers and sisters like Lawrence. I love him to death, and he knows what it is. And what's the name that was running for what was it, Congress in South Carolina? Marcel. He knows what it is. See, this is who we need. But then you have the chick that was up there yesterday, T.S. Madison or whatever the fuck her name is, Giselle or whatever, the man, and she's very disrespectful. I didn't show her any respect because she didn't deserve it. You know, she's always coming up like she's the baddest bitch in the room. No, you're not. Stop that. That makes any other transgender woman. You don't represent all transgender women. That's you. You know what I'm saying? That's you looking like an asshole. But the LGBTQ, yeah, I mean, we need our brothers and sisters. We had a whole bunch of people that was LGBTQ that was fighting for civil rights. James Baldwin. It was another female that was LGBT, but they knew they were black first. They understood that. And some of these other black brothers and sisters, they just want to be hanging on to white people's balls. I'm sorry, pardon my French, but that's the way I see it. And so I'm gonna land on that. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And you know, if I have anything else to say, I'll say it. Thank you.
No, thank you. Appreciate you for just sharing your opinion and whatnot. If they do another Million Man March, and this is just my opinion because when they did it, I was in high school. So if they do another Million Man March this time, I would like it to be centered around group economics, black economics. The last time we did the Million Man March, it was supposed to be a day for atonement, and you know it was an accomplishment to get that many black people in the spot. So kudos to them for that right there. But if they have another one this time, I like to see something, you know, a little bit more come out of it. I like to see, okay, we got a million, and even we get close to a million, we get 200,000-300,000 there. Go ahead and try to set up some mega corporation. Have those people that invest $50. You can go ahead and you can start to flip things around like this and that. So if they were to do another Million Man March, that would be my thing. Would be based on, hopefully it would be based on economics and whatnot. So that would be the issue that I would like to see. I think that you could make a big dent into the black financial market. If we did that, it would show some solidarity, and it would be really impactful and really positive. So I remember I was in high school when they had the Million Man March. Just to let you know how long ago that was. Like, and please, if they do it this time, let's base it on economics. Let's base it on let's go ahead and create a grocery store and that we can make into a chain grocery store for black people. We have so many food deserts and stuff in this country. Let's go ahead and create a chain of laundry mats and all kind of different things that's going to put money in our pocket. Everything, when we go to the grocery store, everything that we see in there, from toilet paper to deodorant to paper plates to toothbrushes to toothpastes, we need to own those. We need to have companies making those. We need to be shareholders in that. We go and we support them and we get dividends and stuff like that. That's how we can build financial prosperity for our people. So I definitely agree with you. If you do another Million Man March, and it don't even have to be a million man. Just do a million Christians along this time too, because that'd be even more cheddar that we can split up.
They had 2 Million Man marches. They had one like about 8 years ago.
Yeah, I know they had one. As a matter of fact, Volvo, you next, and then Brother Moko, you next. So, Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I'm not sure if I was in one of your spaces yesterday or somebody else's space. We talked about defund the police. The problem is not the police. That is not the problem. The problem is not the badge or the uniform. You know, we never seen a badge or a uniform making the arrest. We never seen a badge or a uniform stand on somebody's neck for 8 minutes. Never seen a badge or a uniform shoot somebody in the back. Or we never seen a badge or a uniform do something good that the police does, like save a life or some shit like that. It's the people wearing the badge.
It's the people wearing the uniform. That's the problem that we have. It's the people that's wearing the shit. White people, is something going on with white people. They got a wicked, evil nature. I keep saying this too. We need to figure out a way to have the DOJ release the races of the people that's doing the most police misconduct. What race are these officers? I can guarantee you, number one will be white, and number two will be Latinos. You don't see black police standing on people's neck and shooting motherfuckers in the back. That's very, 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 very rare. We need to figure out a way for the DOJ to release those stats, because I'm pretty sure they got the stats. They gotta have it. Yeah, they gotta have the stats. We need to have the DOJ release the names of these people, and they need to put that out, because we need to let it be known who these police officers are. Now we say defund the police. The police aren't getting, when they fund the police, they're funding gas to go in the vehicles. They're funding overtime for the officers, police cars. They funding equipment. You know, if you trust me on this, you do not want to live in a country that doesn't have a police force. That's a third world country. The police is very important. When you call the police, you can't call Batman. You can't call Superman. You can't call Ghostbusters. You want to be able to call the police. You want to be able to call the first responder. You know, it's just the problem that we having is with the white people, with these white supremacists. The police, it ain't the police, it's the white supremacists, it's the people wearing the badge. And I'm going to land there.
All right, no doubt. Hey, I had to, Black Native, I brought you back down to listening because we had like 3 to come up and speak, but just stick around. If and you can always raise your hand back up. Like I said, we're just trying to get to as many people as possible, so we're going to go ahead and that was Volvo, and we're gonna get back to Black Native. So if you want to come back and speak again, just raise your hand or whatever. We'll get back to you. Just trying to get to everybody who has a hand up or whatever. Ray, that's why I sent you a request just to see if you wanted to, just so I could have moved you out of the speaker, even if you didn't want to, you didn't even really want to do anything. I just want to just free up a spot. Appreciate that, Ray, for you accepting that. If anybody else wants to come up and speak, we just cleared the spot up. So. We would okay. I got DJ coming back in here too, so that'll definitely help with clearing up everything as well. So, Brother Moko, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother. Brother Moko, you there? Yeah, and Brother Mocha, I want to thank you for your contribution on Cash App, brother. I saw right before we came on, you donated on Cash App. So. Okay, we'll get back to you, Brother Moko. So, Eric, I believe. Eric, you next.
Hello, sorry. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I'm going to try to get as brief as possible. When it comes to defund the police, I think, you know, there's a lot of demonization going on with defund the police. You know, people are opting to say that the police departments serve us more benefit than harm and things of that nature. Me personally, it concerns me the fact that the government spends hundreds of millions of dollars and floods them into these police departments. I live around Washington, D.C. They pour in about like $256 million into the police department, and they only give $11 million to mental health. I think, you know, social awareness, mental health professionals, and people that can help diffuse situations better than the police can would be more feasible in helping our community as opposed to just sending the police in every single situation. As we all know, our communities are over-policed and also underprotected, which is ironic. And so I kind of just wanted to give a brief spot on that. In terms of the reparations conversation, I'm in full favor of reparations. I've written letters to my senators and some of my elected officials as well, becoming very active in my community in terms of you know, seeking reparations for Black Americans, where, you know, in my area and nationally. I think it's time that we as Black Americans develop a national strategy I think that we need to pour more money and resources into developing more PACs, political action committees, so that we can pour more funds into, Black candidates who support reparations, as well as hiring more lobbyists to get the message out to the elected officials and, state, local, and federal governments. So that's kind of my stance on that. For the LGBTQ conversation, I'm going to keep it very brief as well. I agree with a good amount of what people were saying in terms of how white LGBTQ people tend to hijack movements. I think it is extremely important to distinct and delineate and compartmentalize white queer people with Black queer people. I understand in these conversations we tend to get lumped all into one category because the logic is because it's one, quote, organization, unquote, that we tag along the ride when I do stuff, or when the white trans community comes out about certain things, that we're just on the bandwagon.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but
wait, Chase, let the person go ahead and finish speaking. Go ahead and finish speaking. Go ahead, Eric.
Thank you. Yeah, I just feel like that happens a lot in conversation. And I'm saying this from personal experience on and off Twitter Spaces. In my personal, this is anecdotal, but in my personal experience, you can see my profile picture. I am not heterosexual, nor do I present masculine. So oftentimes people see my sexuality before I get to announce it, or people see my sexuality and they use my sexuality as a way to kind of sun me in conversations. Like even on Twitter Spaces, when I come in and I'm talking about Black issues, they won't even let me talk. Like they'll be calling other people around me, and then when I ask if I can speak, they assume that I'm being rude, or they'll mute this and be like, "Oh, what are you? What is it talking about? Can you give, how do you, what's going on here? And are you an agent for white supremacy and all that kind of other stuff?" And that is the experience of a lot of Black queer people who just show up to the conversation ready to combat Black issues. And so, as a response to that, many Black queer people have kind of built our own Black movements off on the side because we have been cast out oftentimes, and we uplift our Black queer voices. And a lot of times we fight for Black issues and we fight for Black queer issues because those things are important within our communities. And some people take it as we're fighting for just white LGBTQ people, and for a lot of us, it's not the case. Are there a lot of LGBTQ people that are Black that coon and that cape for white gays and all that stuff? Absolutely. And as Black queer people, we are always on the ad and talking about those type of people because they make our lives harder. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the ones that are put out on the forefront as the tokens and as the ones that are the examples of Black queer people. That's not indicative of even the majority of us. The vast majority of us are not that way. Many Black queer people in our internal spaces, we're having the conversations about reparations, defunding the police, about Black men, Black cis het men getting murdered in the street, Black women mortality rates in the hospital, all those different things. And we're lobbying for these issues, becoming doctors, lawyers, all that stuff, so we can combat those issues that white people are inflicting upon us. So, I wish that we could bridge the gap instead of, furthering the divide. And that's all I wanted to say about that. So thank you for letting me speak.
No problem. Now let me ask you a question. Which, in your opinion, Eric, before you go, and because we got quite a few people that got their hands up, but before you go, I just want to ask you this question here. In your opinion, which is harder, being Black or being queer?
Being Black is harder because it's something that you can see. I also want to mention that being a person who follows the binary, or people can argue that they can see the gay on me or whatever. That doesn't make my life any easier either. Now I understand that Blackness there's a whole much more extensive and much more violent history when it comes to my Blackness as opposed to my queerness. At the same time, I run the risk of death coming out as a Black queer person because there are people that are assault me, attack me, condemn me because of my orientation, because of the way that I identify. So I know people are laughing, but I'm being completely 100% honest. That's the real truth of the situation.
All right, I appreciate you. I appreciate your response and your comments. So thank you for Sharing it, and like, as long as you have if you put your blackness over your sexuality, what you do in private, that's none of my business or whatever. As long as you understand that it was the Black Americans, it was the Civil Rights Movement that allowed every minority group in this country to have a life that they have now. I don't have any issues with you, and if you're out there and you're caping for the black race or whatever, then hey, more power to you. Like I say, what you choose to do in your bedroom in private is your business. That's none of my business. I'm not anybody to judge anybody. So I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you what you should or shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? I am a heterosexual man myself, and the issues that face us as black people in this country. First and foremost, whether you, and I'll say this to the women in here as well, whether you're a woman, whether you're LGBTQ, your first look at is black before anything else. And I know you have a lot of sisters that sometimes say, well, it's harder being a black woman than a black. Listen, you looked at as a black, and you looked at as a black person first and foremost. So I would definitely say that. But once again, I'm saying thank you for coming in and just sharing your opinion. We're gonna move around the room because we got some.
Oh, can I ask a question too before Eric leaves? Ask a question.
I think I have my hand up before everybody did.
No, I'll wait, but I just wanted to Eric to stay. I wanted to ask a question.
Eric, what's a woman?
This is. I'm not gonna answer that question only because I know where it's going, and you're trying to derail the conversation.
No, I'm not. Bro, I don't, bro.
Because actually it was Brother Moku, and then there was enough chance. So actually y'all cutting them off. So let's go ahead because we got new speakers in the house. It was Brother Moku, Enough, and Friedman actually next. So let's go ahead. Eric can stick around, and y'all can ask him that. But for the sake of time and to try to get everybody's hands up, because sometimes people get tired of waiting and they leave. We're gonna go to Brother Moku. We're gonna go to Enough, and then we're gonna go to Friedman. So Brother Moku, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
You kind of low, brother.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. I just want to say what's up to everybody in the room, all my FBA fam, B1 fam, what's crack. Now, I made mine kind of try to make it real brief, kind of jotted some things down, so I'm going to go in order. Defund the police. I definitely concur with Volvo. It's not the police, the badge and the uniform never did nothing wrong. I agree. But I say eliminate the police. Before the 1950s, the black, FBA really wasn't getting arrested like that. When Jim Crow was being practiced on us, our issue, just like Garbo said, is the suspected racists in the uniform. And what I suggest and what I think we should think about is just going a whole different route. Instead of even calling it police brutality, what we should do is command compensatory justice. Every time one of these race soldiers kill one of ours, we go for their necks. Look, we want them to commit suicide. We want them to kill themselves in front of everybody. And I'm telling you, once we make this demand on the collective, they ain't gonna know what to do. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck? What you mean that you want them to kill themselves?" Yes, that's what we want. Compensatory justice. You took a life, take your own life. And I'm telling you, we're gonna start seeing different results when you start demanding shit like that. Then I definitely agree with Sister Giselle about digging in their pockets, take their funds, take their children's college funds. They start they start acting right when you're taking their money. As far as reparations, I don't think we need another Million Man March, nothing like that, because in the past, all these events have been held on Saturdays and Sundays when the government is fucking gone. We going down Washington door on the White House lawn when everybody is off. What kind of bitch shit is that? You know what I'm saying? We need to really make a statement. We need to go down there on a fucking Monday or Wednesday, disturb their business. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to really make a statement.
and that's just my opinion on reparations and as far as going down there and going us en masse, because we done gave them 2 chances for them to kill us en masse down there during the marches. We going down there unarmed. I feel like we putting ourselves in more danger than anything. If we really want to make a move, we need to make it on a business day. And the third thing about LGBT, I'm gonna just make that real short. You ain't got no genitals to match the gender you talking about. That shit don't make constructive logical sense to me. So I don't even really try to get wrapped into that, because if you're calling yourself binary and you don't have a genital to match that binary gender, then what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, let's fix the confusion and get on code. Get the fuck on code. This is about our lives and our children who will never be. And if you LGBT, you ain't having no fucking children. I land my plane right there.
Thank you, Brother Moko. Thank you. Like I said, and also thank you for your contribution on Cash App. Y'all can support Newstoter on Cash App, $Newstoter. That's $Newstoter. It don't have to be a lot. It could be $1. $Newstoter. We are the largest curator of Black news today in America by far. The largest news aggregator, Black-owned news aggregator in America. And I want to again thank my brother Moko. This brother always supports. He always comes through. So we're gonna go. Enough. We'll go to Freedman, then we'll go to Enough. So, Ray, I'm gonna get to you too. So I know you up there, you're doing the co-hosting. So I'm gonna get to you too. But we got a bunch of hands up, so we're gonna get to you. You a co-host, so just chill for a second. If I know sometimes your time be pressing, so when you let me know when your time getting pressing and you got to speak or whatever, we go ahead and get you in there too, bro. Freedman, go ahead and unmute your mic. And y'all in the space, please go ahead and tweet out the space. When I'm in spaces, I tweet out the space. So y'all go ahead and help Newstoter out by tweeting out the space. Freeman, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, 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 family. Newstoter, the homie. Appreciate you in this space. Kite, Ray. Appreciate y'all co-hosting. Great topic. Defund the police. I think a lot of us know the history of the police. How they stem from slave catchers and how they enslaved the ancestors. And today on the NYPD police cars, it says to protect and serve. Who do you protect and serve? It's damn sure not the American freedmen. What they really do is protect corporations, they protect property, and they murder and enslave the American freedmen. I repeat, they protect corporations and property, and they murder and enslave the American freedmen, no different than what it was going on back in the days from its foundation. So yes, defund the police is a consequence for the police brutality. Defund the police, the police genocide, and we must take it a step further and abolish the police. No, we do not need police in our neighborhoods. Other groups of people do not have police in their neighborhoods, and they know better than to have police in their neighborhoods, and they definitely know better than to over-police the neighborhoods.
Like which communities don't have police in their neighborhoods?
Volvo, let him go. Volvo, let him go ahead and finish
the
up.
The fish eaters, the hard hats, the Jews. Police in the neighborhoods, and if they do, they get them the fuck up out of here. So, that being said, if they can do it, so can we. We do not need white supremacists, race soldiers in our neighborhoods locking up 5-year-old babies because they allegedly stole potato chips. We do not need police officers murdering the Breonna Taylors of the world, the Tatiana Jeffersons of the world, and the George Floyds of the world. So no, we do not need police. And again, defund the police is a consequence for their white supremacist race soldier actions. Abolish the police is punishment for the police. Defund the police, go after their pockets, go after the Patrick Lynches of the world. His name in itself is racist. Patrick Lynch, the president of the bum-ass Police Benevolent Association. About the Police Benevolent Association. They are all racist. They are all white supremacists. And I don't give a fuck
about any of them because they are killing our people. This is how serious it is. So again, abolish the police is a solution. Criminal charges against the police, that's punishment. When you kill one of us, the death penalty, life in prison, period. Anti-hate crime bills for the American freedom. Anti-hate crime bills for all black people who are deemed murdered by the hands of the police. So that coincides with Dr. Nelly Fuller, who is an American freedman, Dr. Nelly Fuller Jr., who is an American freedman, with replacing the system of white supremacy with a system of justice. Reparations.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Now let me ask you a question, Freeman. You saying that you don't believe that there should be any police whatsoever in the black community, even if the police was vetted, even the police we had black police like you have in a lot of these Chinese and these Asian communities and stuff, police that actually look like us. Your feeling is that no police whatsoever should be in our neighborhoods policing.
Great question, Newstoter, and I appreciate the question. So my answer to that would be no. I do think that we can have our own community patrolmen, like what the Black Panthers did. Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, and the rest of them, on and on. We had our own policing apparatus. You see what I'm saying? We had our own people who were American freedmen, our own people who were the men and leaders of the community who protected their people, their family, their tribe, and their neighborhoods. And we can do the same, just like how I said, I catch that. The Jews do it for their neighborhoods and their communities, so can we. So that would be my solution in the place of these race soldiers who do not give a damn about us. They do not give a fuck about us. They come into our neighborhoods and they kill us. They rape our women. They beat up our men. They lock up our children. They body slam our children. They body slam our men. They kill and murder our women and children and men. And then you see it on the news. We just saw what happened to Jalen Walker. Who is next? Who is next? Does it take for it to happen to? Is it going to take for it to happen to you for you to take this work serious, or do you care? Like what happened with George Floyd? I didn't know George Floyd. George Floyd wasn't me, but that could have been my uncle. That could have been me. Breonna Taylor could have been my aunt. Breonna Taylor could have been my mother. When we start thinking about it like that, like that's those same people we did not know our own family, that's when you start getting activated. That's when you start getting activated and taken to the streets and making the uprisings that we see during 2020. And we need it to happen on a collective group level. So, again, to answer your question is, we are the solution for this problem. We organize. Organization is power. Collective organizing is power. And we patrol our own neighborhoods and our own communities. And this goes into the next topic, which is reparations. Reparations is a macro solution to a lot of our problems. Everything that we can get fixed can be fixed with reparations. Everything. I don't give a damn about healthcare, police genocide. All that shit is a symptom to white supremacy. And the 40 acres and a mule, which is owed to the American freedmen and the descendants, that is a solution, and that is a solution at the root of the problem. As far as the LBGTQ, I don't really know how this has to do with anything with defund the police and reparations. So
it's just one of the topics I put in there, brother.
Okay. I mean, I'll just say this: if you are an American freedman who just so happens to be LGBT, I expect and I would hope that you prioritize your American freedman tribe first, and you do not prioritize your sexual identity or sexual preference first. In the system of white supremacy, you are born into this classification of quote unquote blackness. It is completely different than being born into being a straight person or being born into being an LGBT person. You like what you like or who you like, and that's your personal business. far as I'm concerned, I appreciate and respect people like the James Baldwins of the world, whereas the people like the Baynard Rustins of the world are the enemies. And we need to look out for those. When we have those in our midst, it's great that we call out those Baynard Rustins of the world, the alleged Barack Obamas of the world, who are allegedly LGBT, who use their quote unquote blackness to get access into the struggle, but then push an LGBT agenda. The LGBT agenda and the American freedom agenda is not the same, so it's not even comparable. So when the LGBT has to pull from the source and the history of the American freedom experience in this country, then that's how you know they have nothing to stand on when it comes to the struggle. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And it's minuscule in comparison to the American freedom. I never saw an LGBT water fountain. And my ancestors were never enslaved in this country because they were LGBT. I'm laying my fucking plane. American freedom on deck.
Appreciate your comments. We're gonna go ahead and move the conversation along. We're gonna to enough. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Shout out to Sis, shout out to Black Indian, shout out to Wani, shout out to my brother Chase, shout out to Newstoter, shout out to Ray, and shout out to DJ. But anyway, alright, so defund the police, most definitely. Defund all of them. I wouldn't give a fuck if they never had a job a day in their life. Not saying that I don't think we need officers. I think we do need peace officers and not police officers. I'm going to be really quick. Reparations, we already know. It's a movement. We know what we're doing. We know what we're supposed to do. LBGTQ plus. I don't really have a problem with them as long as they on code, except T.S. Madison or whatever the fuck her name is. As long as you stay in your lane and stay the fuck out of my lane and don't pretend to be, we don't have no problem. As long as you respect me as a woman, I'm gonna respect you for whatever the fuck you want to be. And that's it. Bye.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate you coming in. Like I say, once again, have a happy birthday. Make sure you party responsibly. And
I'm gonna party this weekend, okay? Right.
Oh, that's good. Just make sure you party responsibly. That's all I'm saying. Have a good time, but try to stay in one piece. We got next. We got my man Volvo up next. Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic. Volvo, Chase, sister. I believe Lawrence, and Black Native, then Moku, brother Moku. So yeah, go ahead, Volvo, and then Chase. So Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm trying to be real quick, about 2 minutes. I just want to say, like, the reason why I came on these Twitter spaces and all this, right, is to learn and to teach. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to hear different perspectives from different types of people from different walks of life. I go in all rooms. I talk to anybody. I know and understand that I don't know everything, and that's part of the beauty of living, is to learn. If I know everything, what's the fun in that? I don't mind being corrected, and I don't mind being wrong, and I don't mind if somebody challenges my position. I'm not going to be offended or nothing like that, because I'm not just on Twitter just talking, looking for attention, just hopping on any topic or any, just saying anything. So I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I'm asking Eric. I ask this to all LGBT people because I don't interact with them that much. I'm really curious. What's your thoughts? What is a woman? I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay. A woman is a person of binary gender identifying as such and possesses social and physical traits of such.
What?
No, calm down, sis. Like, come on, now we gotta control ourselves.
Yeah, let Volvo, since it's his turn, let Volvo go ahead.
All she did was say was what?
Exactly.
Hey, I didn't say. Hold on. I didn't say she said. I didn't say she said anything. I'm just saying it's Volvo turn, so let Volvo. She didn't say anything wrong. I'm saying let Volvo go ahead because he's waiting for a minute. So I'm just letting hear what Volvo got to say. But no, she didn't say anything.
But I understand where they coming from.
That wasn't for you, Newstoter.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Freeman got that thing too, to where he jumps off the mic and ad libs like they.
Yeah, you got to
control yourself.
Yeah, that's go ahead.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm on here, like, I'm saying something though. I'm saying something. He be battling. But anyway, I'm really am like, you didn't really explain what a woman was. To me, it sounded like you read that, like you were reading something. Like a legitimate question. This is a legitimate question. This space is recorded. It sounds like you reading something. Like, this is my definition of a woman. I like what the ancestors did. The ancestors, a woman would have a baby. The baby would slide out. They would look between the baby legs and say that this baby has a meat. This baby has a penis. This is a boy child. Get him a blue shirt. This baby does not have a penis. It has no meat between his legs. This is a girl child. Give it a pink shirt. Let's get back to regular business. So I'm asking you this because this is a very important question that I'm seeing nobody can really answer. But so, like, line is keeping it real. Eric, I'm asking you again. Don't read it off a script. What's a woman? What is the definition of a woman? What is a woman?
I can assure you I was not reading off of anything. I'm just an articulate person. And I just gave you the definition. You spent the entire time explaining what women are capable of doing and the genitals of babies. That's not a definition. So, as I said before, a woman is a person of binary gender, identifying as such, and possesses social and physical traits as such meaning a woman. That's my definition. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, now let me, I'm not trying to see, like, I'm not trying to get offensive or anything. So what you're saying is that, because I heard this answer before, you have to be feminine to be a woman. That's not true. Well, I mean, like, what you saying, basically what you're saying is that this person is displaying femininity. What does that mean? You just, some form of femininity, yes, but they don't have to be effeminate to be a woman. Okay. All right. Can a woman have a penis? That's my final question. For me, yes. All right.
Wait a minute. You said a woman can have a penis. A woman can be born with a penis. Is what you're saying, Eric?
That's what I said.
Oh no, brother.
Can we please move on? This is ridiculous.
But that's what I said. It's
oh man.
Y'all can have an issue.
Can I just say one thing?
Very disrespectful to women. Very disrespectful.
It's not.
Okay, let's get some. We're gonna get the order back in the room. I'm enough. She wanted to ask one question before we actually go ahead and move on because you're right. I can't. I mean, I like I said, I respect everybody's opinion and whatnot, but I mean, I have to be real here, bro. I mean, and this is not an opinion in my actual fact, but I mean, I was born with a penis. The men in my family were born with penis. They're men or whatever. Now, if you want to say that you're that, I don't have an issue with that or whatever, but you do have quite a few women in this room. So, like I say, one of them wants to ask one question. Like I said, I try to be respectful, and we're not gonna, because I know how sometimes, and I put listen, I put the topic, I put this up in there, so I knew what to expect or whatever. So, and especially with having somebody in it that you say, and I'm gonna be honest with you, with the terms non-binary and binary and stuff, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm from the old school, bro. I don't even know what the hell any of this stuff really means. I just know, like, I know gay, straight, LGBTQ, heterosexual, male. Now you got transgender, this and that. So I don't really, and that's not to be disrespectful to you and your community. I really don't even know. I just know, like I say, I'm from the old school. I'm in my early 40s. I'm from a different era. That's just how we was raised. And like I said, no disrespect to you, brother, or whatever. But I don't even really. These terms, non-binary and binary, this stuff is still, I'm still learning, to be honest with you. So I don't want to be disrespectful. A person to me can call themselves whatever they want to call themselves. That's fine. But like I say, I personally don't agree with that. But that, like I say, I believe if you were born as a hermaphrodite and you have both sexes, then you can state that something like that. But anyways, let's go ahead and ask this question, and then we gonna move on.
I really don't have a question. So it's very weird for another man to ask another man, what the fuck a woman is. Why are you questioning? He never said that he was a woman. You understand what I said? And this is what starts confusion. This is not T.S. Giselle. That's a question you should go and ask her. I'm not against this man for liking who he likes. If he is on code, I am on code with him. I think it's very disrespectful for you to ask another man that said nothing about being a woman. He never said anything about being a woman. And to me, sir, Eric, you really shouldn't even answer questions like that because, to be honest, you don't know what a woman is. And that's all I'm going to say. The next time somebody asks you that, you tell them, I don't know what a woman is because I'm not a woman. I'm a man. And just to keep it simple so it don't get into all of this because the way your sexuality is lived is very different from a straight person's point of view. You understand what I'm saying? No disrespect to you, brother. I'm just saying it's just best not to answer those type of questions because you sounded like you read it off of a dictionary. Not saying that you did, but it did sound like, you know what I mean? And not even trying to disrespect you, but another man should not ask another man what the fuck a woman is. It's weird. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you.
I totally agree. And I totally agree with what you said. And that's why when he asked me the first time, I said I'm not answering that question because it's going to derail the conversation. And look what's happening. So he was insisting on asking, so I gave him my definition. And I understand that I am a man. I identify as male. So I really can't speak to that, and I don't speak to women's issues as a result. So I totally agree. Thank you for saying that.
Newstoter, remember, I've been on hold. I wanted to ask Eric, respectfully, I wanted to ask a question, remember?
Okay.
And I didn't want him to, go running out because everybody is not against him. I actually respect him.
Okay, we're gonna because actually Chase was next, but go ahead.
No, I'll wait. I'm just saying out loud. I wanted to ask Eric. I'll wait my turn, but I'm just saying I wanted to ask Eric that. So yeah, Eric, could you stay in, please?
Because it's Chase next. It's Chase
okay,
and then you. It's Chase and then you, sister. So Chase, go ahead and unmute your mic. And like I said, y'all, please go ahead and tweet out the link. Please go ahead and tweet out the link. Anybody that's in the space that's not following Newstoter, make sure you follow us. Also, we got a YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to it. It's Newstoter. Subscribe to Newstoter. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. You got a Facebook account. You got an Instagram account. You can easily find us at Newstoter. Same with the YouTube channel. And support us on Cash App or PayPal or Venmo. It's in the Jumbotron as well. We need that help. We need that support. If you got $1 to donate, just $1, we would definitely be thankful. So Chase, go ahead, brother. Unmute your mic.
All right. So, family, I want y'all to look at something. I think that's one of our biggest problems, us FBA people, is that we're so inviting of everybody. And that's always been to our detriment. This person sat up here and just put out a tweet 2 hours saying that LGBT people start movements and then they get kicked out of them. Okay? And then 2 days ago, this same person, Eric, was speaking shit about the Black Authority. So I pose this. As I've always suspected, LBGTQ people are our enemies. They put their sexuality before their blackness. And then when something happens, they want to exploit it. Trans lives matter does not mean more than a black person. Your sexuality, that's what you guys do. That's your movement. You have nothing in the black movement. We've always been accepted of gays, homosexuals, and lesbians, always. You know what I mean? But y'all people decide to align yourself with the white LGBT community, and when you say you're gonna, you're taking our talking point, saying you're gonna delineate from them, well, that's your fight. Y'all go over there and fight that out amongst yourselves. We don't care for that. Our little children are getting slaughtered. Our little children are getting beat. Our brothers and sisters are getting beat. You know? Ain't nobody asking them if they're fucking gay or straight.
Chase, that's it for you? You done? You got anything else you want to add to it before we go to sister?
Brother, I land my plane right there. That needs to sink into these folks, bro.
Appreciate it. Sister, go ahead. I know you sometimes have a long point, so we still got quite a hands up. So let's try not to be too long-winded.
I just wanted to ask Eric, how long have you what age were you when you actually came out?
That's a good question. So I never really had come out. My family was always very accepting of me. I've always naturally just been different from the time I was 3, 4, 5 years old. And so, I mean, I had a conversation with my parents when I was 16, but it was like we know already. And, you know, I was kind of just walking them through like more about me and, you know, my natural femininity and the conversation that I had with my dad or whatever. But my parents always knew and they always accepted me. So I never really had to come out.
So your dad played an active part in your life, right?
100%. My dad and I talk almost every day. My dad and I hang out together. We go to lunch together. We do a lot of things together. Ever since I was a kid, he's always been a very pivotal part in my life. He's always been active in there. He's my best friend. So.
Okay. Another thing, last thing. How do you feel? Because here in Pennsylvania, they have classes for kindergarten on how to love the same sex. How do you feel about that? Because like my grandkids are out, but because of that, I feel as though they're not ready for sexual anything. They should be learning letters. And I'm with I think Volvo. I am old school, and all these letters, I always say letters are to be put together to make words. You know, that's what I tell my grandkids. I do not understand this. I didn't understand what fish and all this stuff is. And for you even have your name as Eric. So I respect that. You didn't use whatever name, Erica or something like that, because that's telling me you do recognize it. But do you think, this is my thing and I'm landing, do you think that it has anything to do with a mental disease of some sort that we should look at, some kind of mental thing? And I'm a Latin here.
Generally, no. Again, this is anecdotal. I had no experience in my life that could have triggered anything to make me want to swing the other way, so to speak. Growing up, I had a very inclusive childhood. I've never been assaulted, touched, never been raped. Trigger warning for anybody that's within that. But this is all natural and organic. I have a natural and organic attraction to members of the same sex. So, and I have an inclination to be feminine. Yes, I'm feminine presenting, but my mannerisms and the gesticulation of my voice, all that stuff is just natural. I've been made fun of that since I was a small child. So,
okay.
I think it's very natural. Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is the last thing, because a lot of
let this be the last question, sister.
I said this is the last one. A lot of females, when we are accosted by gay men, I notice gay men do not like us, and I'm talking about black women, and they seem to mock us, like with this loud, boisterous, and that's really unfair, because that is not what a classy black woman is, like myself, and anybody else. And I think it's unfair. And how do you feel what do you think about it when they say it's a hate crime towards us, towards somebody gay, when we feel offended? Now, what are we supposed to do? And I have to ask that. And I want to say happy birthday to my sister in love.
That's a very good question. So I think there is a very, very, very complicated and symbiotic relationship between the Black woman and the Black gay man. It is symbiotic in that historically we have needed each other for certain things. Black women have welcomed us into their spaces, and for that we thank them for that, especially in a world where people were not as accepting and we were able to seek refuge in Black women's spaces. I can't give you a super cohesive, articulate answer because it's such a dynamic discussion. I will say that a lot of flamboyant gays, the ones that snap and they are super loud and super just out there, super imposing. I don't think that that's a representation of Black women. I actually find it kind of insulting when people see a flamboyant gay person and try to attach it to Black women. To your point, Black women are too resilient to display that type of behavior. I think a lot of that is just born out of trauma. A lot of gays feel so little in life that a lot of them have a bolstering personality to be seen and heard and acknowledged, and even if that attention is negative. So, to your question about that, I don't think that's representative of the dynamic between Black women and Black gay men. But I think it is a conversation worth having, just on another more topic of discussion.
Alrighty. My man been up for a minute, so Ray, one of the co-hosts, I got to go to let you get in. Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic. What you got to say, man?
Peace to the family. Well, sister enough, I wanted to wish you a happy 21st birthday. If you're any older than that, you definitely don't look it. So I wanted to start off on that. Second one, I want to definitely say someone brought up about life insurance. That's a very good thing. All of us, regardless, gay, straight, whatever, we all need to have life insurance just in case anything happens. Our family can, take care of us. We don't have to depend on GoFundMe's and, and other little, little silly stuff like that just to take care of ourselves. So I wanted to ask Eric one quick question. And like I said, I'm kind of old school. I'm about to be 36 next week. My mother was born in the early 40s, so I was raised kind of by old school, I had old school parents. So what is the purpose of the pronouns? Because to me, it just seems like it just kind of causes, I'm an adult and I'm confused. So I know that the children are confused. So I was wondering if you would be willing to explain to us, like what is like the real kind of purpose of it. And also, I would say this: if you want, the straight community to be allies more with the gay community, when you guys see something wrong, we need you guys to speak up on it. Like for example, drag queens in school, or I was speaking about this earlier. There's adults that actually identify as children, and then you have these children that I forget. I believe the drug is called Lipron. That thing that they're giving these babies is actually what they use to chemically castrate sex offenders, and this is the stuff they're giving children, to stop their, their cycles and whatever else going on. So if you want us to be allies with you guys, when you see some bullshit, you need to say, hey, that's wrong. We need y'all to stand with us on that.
Well, I'll first answer your question as cohesively as I can. For that specific conversation, you would need to suspend the binary, because in order for you to understand it, you're not going to understand it unless you continue this binary way of thinking. So if I can put it just as clearly as I can, for people in pronouns are literally just a way to address a person without using their name. It's a second person way of speaking. So for people that have gender identities, the pronouns are he, her, he, him, she, her, they, them. I think you guys all know what he, him, and she, her pronouns are. For they, them, there are individuals who feel suspended from man or woman. They don't feel like either gender. They don't associate with either gender. This is natural. For some people, it's performative. Some people, it's accumulated. But there are individuals out there that feel like they do not align with man or woman. So they, them pronouns are neutered language, meaning no gender language that you can use to address a person. If you're addressing the person anonymously, we often use the they, them pronouns. If you don't want a person, if you don't want to give away a person's gender, let's say you're talking about somebody you don't want that person you're talking to know that you're talking about a friend, or you don't want them to know that you're talking about a specific love interest or anything of that nature. You say, oh, well, they said that they're not going to do that right now. That's literally what non-binary pronouns are. So, and also to your question about, to your point you made about LGBTQ people speaking out, Black LGBTQ people speak speak out about those issues, especially when it comes to children in transition. I get that, and this is why we have to separate white queer people from black queer people. You often hear the white queer community pushing for a lot of this stuff that black queer people either have not caught up with or just do not plain agree with. There are a lot of trans people, gay people out there that say we do not agree with child medical transition. We don't agree with giving a child hormones, you know what I'm saying, if they have not passed puberty. Child abuse, definitely, in my opinion. To the baby conversation, that's not an LGBTQ conversation. I mean, it's weird. For a lot of people, it's a fetish. For a lot of people, they just want to live like that, but that doesn't fall within the confines of the LGBTQ community.
Okay. Appreciate you, Ray. Just stick around. You're in the co-hosting duties. I believe Native is next, then Lawrence. So, Black Native, go ahead, unmute your mic.
Hi, thank you. Chase had said something, Eric, that you had tweeted out something about the LGBTQ community is the only movement. What is that about?
I can actually read the tweet verbatim. So what I said was,
for the record, I'm a computer and I want y'all to address me as it from now on.
Okay.
That's what you want to be called. We can call you it.
Come on now,
So
brother. That ain't really being honorable.
For the tweets that it brought up, I said they just won't leave the LGBTQ community alone. Kick us out of black movements we started, then loudly complain when we mind our business and do the work. It's so pathetic. That's what I said.
What? Okay. Black Native, I'm gonna let you get to this, but I gotta ask, what movements did y'all start that we kicked y'all out of?
Right.
So there were a lot of movements that were helped to be facilitated and created by black queer people.
No, bro, that's not what I asked. I want to know what movements did y'all start that we kicked y'all out of? I need to know this, because are you gonna say that you started the civil rights movement?
It was helped to be cultivated by black queer people. Yes.
No.
That is
no.
That is the truth.
No. Like who?
You can look up in Google.
No,
information you can look up in Google.
Wait, hold on. The civil rights movement got kickstarted when Emmett Till got murdered. That's when it got kickstarted.
I said it was helped to be cultivated by black queer people.
Explain that, please.
You know what cultivation is, right?
Yeah, I know what cultivation means. Explain how it was helped and cultivated by gay people. Tell me.
No. You let it.
But see, I was actually speaking.
No, it's Black Native's turn. I just wanted. I had to actually hear this myself, so I had to actually chime in here for a second. So I need to know this exactly. How was it helped and cultivated? Because first you said y'all started the movement, then you was kicked out of it.
Right.
So then you switched up and you say, well, we helped and we cultivated it. So you went from starting something to being kicked out to helping and cultivating it. So are you trying to say that Bayard rusted because of him and James and Baldwin, that they were the ones, the reason that the civil rights movement is what it was?
No, you're not reading the tweet for what it was. I said we get kicked out of movements, and I said that we helped to cultivate movements. We helped to spread them. We helped to get the word and message out about them. Bayard Rustin, say what you ever want to say about him, but he did help cultivate the movement. He organized the Million Man March, which is one of the most famous marches of the movement. He was the one who got
the million. Talking about with Louis Farrakhan?
That was Louis Farrakhan, sir. Like you
talking about the march on DC?
The march on Washington. Sorry, not the Million Man March. I apologize. The march on Washington. Okay. He helped to organize the march on Washington, and he was the one that organized the guest list, the speakers list. I don't know if you guys know this, but James Baldwin was actually supposed to speak at that march. Bayard Rustin invited him to there, and right before it was supposed to start, I think days prior, James Baldwin's name was mysteriously taken off the list.
Okay, but that's part of history, but we're not going to rewrite history. I mean, he
didn't rewrite history.
We're not.
Hold on a minute. I'm speaking, please. We cannot rewrite history to fit the narrative that because you said initially in the tweet you didn't say cultivate, you said started. That's what you said. So like Newstoter asked, and I was like, when did the LGBTQ actually start a movement that Black people kicked them out of? Like, I need to understand this because from me knowing history, I know a lot of people that were LGBTQ that were in the civil rights movement, but they didn't start the civil rights movement, and they knew because they were Black and in the time that they were living in, they participated. That's all. I mean, I'm not trying to, but I don't want to keep talking about the LGBT. I just had to ask that question because you didn't answer when it was brought into your Chase brought it to your attention.
And Bayard Rustin was a complete sellout. I mean, let's call it for what it is. Bayard Rustin, I'll talk all kind of noise and stuff after the civil rights movement in the '80s and stuff like that. He was a complete magpie.
So and he was a CIA agent.
I mean, please, to sit up there and talk about that. I mean, if Bayard Rustin never lived a day in his life, if he never lived, the civil rights movement still was going to go on. It didn't need no Bayard Rustin. I could see James Baldwin, and even if James Baldwin wasn't there, you still was going to have a civil rights movement. There has not been
different people that was in it. We had the Sneak, we had Mega Evans. I mean, it's a lot of people that was in it that wasn't. It wasn't even no such thing as LGBTQ at that time. But I wanted to speak about what the Freedman spoke about the police, the Jewish community, because I lived in Crown Heights, and when he was speaking that, it was actually true. The Jewish community, they have their own private, and this is in Brooklyn, police departments. They don't have NYPD coming around and policing their community. Because I lived in the mix of them, so that is exactly true. And we should be able to do the same thing. We don't need the police because they're not policing, they're murdering. So there's a difference. And to say that it's not the cops, it's not the uniform, it's all connected. They're wearing the uniform with the badge when they're murdering people. So it's the people that's fit into this. Put their ass in them pants and that little jacket with the.
That's what I said.
Who said that?
Oh, that's what I said.
Oh, but I don't know. I thought you was trying to say, yeah, but it's the people, but the uniform and all of that. This is like when you see a hood, when you can't say, well, it's the people in the hood. The hood represents when you see that hood, you know KKK. That's a symbolic thing. But what I'm saying is we do need to police ourselves, and that's it. Period. We don't need white people in our communities because they're not helping us.
Well, look. I'm sorry. I got to interject here because there is a need, and I'm only saying this respectfully. There is a need for professional services in our communities because you can't sit up here and tell me that Pookie and Ray Ray know how to drive a fire truck, hook up, get on all the equipment, and throw everything on and hook up the fire truck, put out the fire, or go in the house, how to reach the house, go inside, extract.
Did she say anything about the fire department?
I said the police department.
Did she say anything about the fire department?
Okay, I'm getting ready to get to the police department. There is a need for professional services with the police because they make a performed function in society, and that is to provide emergency services when it is needed. So there is a need for that, okay? Because Pookie and Ray Ray don't even know how to do CPR.
Why you keep saying Pookie and Ray Ray like we don't have Black police officers, like we don't have Black firefighters, like we
but
don't
now
have.
You're contradicting yourself.
We have all of these things. We have these things, but inside their system, what is wrong with having Black police officers patrol Black people?
Absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
I just muted everybody because we got too many people talking over everybody. We actually had, because Wani had her hand up, Chase, before you actually started talking, Wani had her hand up. We got It's All About, and Guest Star got their hand up as well. So we got some new speakers in there. So I want you to go ahead in 60 seconds so we can go ahead and get to some of these new speakers so they can get a chance to speak as well. So Because I was just before you actually chimed in, I was getting ready to go right to one. So she had her hand up. She took the. And we got It's All About, and we got guest star there. So in 60 seconds, go ahead and unmute. Go ahead and land your plane. So we can go ahead and just move it around the room and come back. A couple people that's up in the speaker spot, we're gonna go ahead and move down to. I'm gonna move you down, Eric, so we can have anybody else. If you want to come back up, raise your hand. But we're gonna go ahead, so we can go ahead and get everybody a chance to speak. Go ahead, Chase, and wrap it up. Who was that?
All right. So look.
Who said he was next? Who was that?
Me.
Who was next?
Lawrence. That's Lawrence, bro.
Well, Lawrence, you already spoke, so we're going to go ahead and get to some new speakers. That's why, because we got some ones that Wani, It's All About, and guest star, they're new speakers, so they haven't had a chance to speak, so I want to hear their thoughts. Well, after they speak, then you can go ahead and get up, okay? We got you after that, so go ahead, Chase. Because like I said, Chase, you were actually were further down or whatnot. So go ahead and speak, and then we can go ahead so we can get to the new speakers. And then Lawrence, after they speak, then we'll come to you.
Right, real quick. We do need our own folks doing the police work in our community. Because, like I said, there's always going to be a need for professional service. You know, case in instance, real quick. Somebody barricades themselves inside of the apartment. Ain't no homeboy's gonna come and get them. That's why we have trained professionals to don that SWAT gear and go inside and extract those people. Where we have problems at is when we have white supremacists that are in the system and they use that badge as a shield to exact murder upon us. Okay? So, you know, I get the defund the police talk, but, you know, let's think about what are we actually asking for, and can you articulate the point when you say defund the police, so you want to get rid of all the police, or we're going to police ourselves, and do you know that there's a whole lot that's involved in the police? And I just land my plane on that, man, and I appreciate it. I'm waiting to hear what the sisters got to say.
Okay.
Well, me, because I had left. I'm sorry. Were you addressing the question to me because I had left out the room? Or was it just a general question?
I was landing my plane, sister. Nothing was directed towards you.
Okay. I don't know. I wasn't here. I had left out, so I caught the tail end of your conversation.
Nah, you're fine, sister. You're fine, sister.
Okay, Wani, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. I just wanted to say when he said we stole his movements, I had to remind people that said things like Black Pride and say about I'm Black and I'm proud. And that got turned into the Pride Parade right after MLK died. They started having the Pride Parade. And a couple of years later, and then they also took the rainbow, which was from the Rainbow Coalition. So they have been stealing everything. Even the Proud Boys stole our name. It's like these other groups are very unable to be creative with their own movements at all. They latch onto our movements and then try to say that we stole their movement. Why on earth would we steal their movement? It wasn't even a movement about being gay. It was a movement about civil rights. Okay? How did we steal their movement? Did they have a movement about being gay that we hijacked? Did I miss something? I don't think I did.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this dude was talking about when he started talking, and then he started backtracking, talking about that they cultivated it and they helped. Like, listen, that's nonsense. You came a part of it. This was about Black people. It was not about any minority group. It was strictly about Black people. It wasn't about the handicap. It wasn't about the minority coalition. It wasn't about white women. It wasn't about your sexuality. It was about one group of people who were descendants of slaves who had went through damn hell in this country, and everybody went ahead and started grifting off of it. And to sit up here and say, talk about that we kicked you out of something you started, because then when Chase called him out, my man totally switched it up. No, that's not what I said. Yeah, that kind of was what you said, because even when you read it, that's what you said. And then when I called you on it, then you changed it up. So that was exactly what you said. Then you went from saying that you started these movements and got kicked out of it to all of a sudden, well, we captivated it, cultivated it, and we helped. No. Nobody need no damn Bayard Rustin sorry ass to do anything. Bayard Rustin, like I say, was a magpie. He was a sellout. He sold out everybody that was in that was in that movement. Talk cash, trash in the 80s and stuff about everybody that was in it. If Bayard Rustin never lived, it wouldn't have made one bit of damn difference. And you got a bunch of liberals and a bunch of other people trying to give him credit like he was a founder of the March on DC. Like please, the March on DC was so in the damn civil rights movement. Please, get out of here with this crap here. This stuff that people just tell themselves and convince themselves. Now, you sitting up in this room and you're doing okay for a little bit until people start calling you on this stuff. And then you want to go up and, oh, no, that's not what I said. Stop.
Now, I want to thank you for calling them out, too, because if anyone actually read that tweet, the word "we" was in capital letters.
Yeah, and then like I say, when he read it, Ray, he talked about we started it. He didn't say, well, we helped out and we participated. He said we started a movement that we was kicked out of. Like, bruh, please. Everybody in this country done benefited more off of the damn civil rights movement than the actual people it was intended for. And that includes the LGBTQ, that includes the white ones sitting up there, and a lot of the black ones are no more than a damn lapdog that sit up there and follow and take directions and take orders from them. So knock it off, man, please. Y'all just a mascot for them to sit up there and point to the black heterosexuals and talk about, well, they're really the most racist in the country. You ever hear white people say that? Well, really, black people are the most racist people in the world. They're the most hateful people in the world. Really, white men are the ones that are most discriminated against. Just utter nonsense. This man gonna sit up here.
And that's what makes me mad because people died. Our people were being bit by dogs, water hoses sprayed on them, beat upside the head, incarcerated, kind of stuff. And then you don't even want to acknowledge who started this shit. That's an insult.
People die so you can sit up here and be born one gender and sit up here and say that you something else completely. That's what people died for. People died back in the day so you can sit up here and now you can sit up here and be born a damn boy and say that you're a girl and nobody looks at you sideways. So I mean, man, please stop.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. The young man he's still young. He don't really just figuring out the world.
The young man talking out his ass. That's what the young man is doing.
Yeah, a lot of young people do that. You know, he wasn't disrespectful. He was articulate. He tried to hold his own. He just got crushed. You know, he just learned it. He misinformed. You know, he misinformed.
When he came up, when Chase found that tweet that he said, then it was good night Irene. When he came and said that, now to sit up and say that, and you in a pro-black space right here, to sit up and say that, and then thinking that, and luckily Chase found a little tweet that he came up with. Apparently he was dissing Jason Black as well too. So glad to know that you found that, Chase. We're gonna go to It's All About. So go ahead and unmute your mic, brother.
Hey, Newstoter. I'm a woman.
I'm sorry about that. I hear it now, sister. I'm sorry about that. But go ahead.
No, it's okay. I have to laugh, everybody. It's very common. I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to speak. And I had a question for Eric because my major concern is what is his stance on the movement that his group or the LBGTQ is promoting with sexualizing the children. How do he feel about it, and what do he do to help educate or beat back those misinformation that is coming out and stuff like that? That was my major thing. So I wanted to ask Eric, how do you feel about that?
Well, unfortunately, Eric done dipped once because I had to drop him down just so we could get some others, so you guys can get up and speak and whatnot. And I guess he felt the way that the momentum in the room had just totally shifted and whatnot. He pissed a lot of people off, especially me. And like I said, I try to remain as neutral as possible, like just hosting the space and whatnot, because I don't care who comes in here. A lot of times I know a lot of people they don't want certain people to come in, but I'm like, hey, it's an open space, it's open dialogue. I don't care as long as you're being respectful. But he pretty much he opened up a damn hornet's nest right there when he started saying that he got called out, and then he just ran because like it really was about to get nasty up in there. He did the right thing. He tucked his leg with his tail between his legs. And he got up out of here. So unfortunately, he's not here to answer that question. But you know, we see a lot of we see the agenda and a lot of this stuff that, like I say, you can't even speak about God and stuff in school, but you can speak about all this other stuff. They want to go ahead. And not only that, man, back in the day when I was in school, you had to have your parents' permission. They had to sign a permission slip just to teach you sex ed. Like, they couldn't just come to class and teach you sex ed without your parents actually signing a permission slip. Now they want to go ahead and tell you all these different forms of sex and whatnot. Give it to your kids and tell, hey, it's okay, this and that. My son, who was in the 6th grade, had his damn teacher come out and just tell the class out of nowhere, tell her that she was bisexual. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. She goes and she tells a bunch of 11-year-olds that she's bisexual.
Yeah, I will be asking that question. Why are these adults, why are they coming after children? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like who? Like that's your damn business. You had to teach a class, get paid, and go home, and you sitting up there telling a bunch of middle school kids, 11-year-olds, 6th graders, that you bisexual. Like we give a damn. That's not what your salary's for. So yeah, I mean, please, like I say, back in the day, you used to have permission slips. You had to have this sign and this and that. If your parents had signed a permission slip, and guess what? You didn't get to see the sex ed videos, and you weren't part of the sex ed discussion. Now they want to go ahead and say, well, really, it's none of the parents' business. We'll just go ahead and we'll teach you this alternate way of lifestyle, and the parents can just find out later on. That's like having kids getting pregnant in school and stuff, and they're not telling the parents that the girls have had an abortion. That's like them giving them contraceptives and not telling the parents and whatnot. They've been doing this kind of stuff for the past 10, 15 years, really opening up a real Pandora's box. Like you gonna tell, and then going to school, your child is named, he has a boy name, and they call him pronouns and stuff. Tell like, well, it's a child's decision. It's a child. What are you talking about? It's a child's decision. Damn child up here. Liberal BS that we done bought into for the past 50, 60 damn years, so we can go ahead and tell the world that, hey, they're pushing racial harmony in this party right now. The parties can't stand you just as much as the other party across the aisle can't stand you. Guest star, go ahead and unmute your mic.
So that was I just wanted to say thank you, Newstoter, because that was my concern. They're taking a lot of parental authority away from parents, and a lot of things that your children are being exposed to. You have no idea, and children don't come forward with information, so you have to really pry to find out what is going on with the children. And lastly, I hear that in New York State, they have legislation. It didn't pass yet, but they have legislation where they talking about children. They want to pass it where children can go and get STD testing without of any age. They wrote any age on there without the parents, being informed and things of that nature, and even trying to, if you want to interfere and say, no, we're not going to do that. They even want to sit up there and talk about, well, they'll take further action to either remove the child or something like that. So this thing, with the LBGTQ, it has caused, it's further than just giving people the right to live the way that they want to live. They actually imposing their lifestyle on other people, and I think that's wrong. I land there. Thank you.
And I'm gonna kick it to you, Gaston. I just want to say this. This is how white people have been acting up from the time that we've been these people. It used to be back in the day. I've heard stories in the 20s and 30s and stuff like that, where you might have a black child and his father in town or whatever, and that child was caught acting up, and a white man would come up to you and talk about you now you or the child just do something simple, and a white person come up to you and talk about, now you better beat his butt, because if you don't beat his butt, I'm gonna beat his butt. And I'm gonna beat you too, boy. And the black man would have to beat his child because this white man told him to. Just ridiculous here. Guest star, go ahead and unmute your mic.
That's a mess. I just wanted to jump in because I guess Eric he had left already, but he was talking about that they started movements, LGBT started movements, and I love Wani. I love you. You just bring it right back to the root of what we were saying. We're black and we're proud. I love that because it just points out that this was a black movement. Yes, there were groups and part of it, but guess what? All the black people, we didn't say, "Oh, you're LGBTQ, stand on the sideline." We were just like, "Y'all are black, come here," and they act like we have pushed them out some way when they literally center themselves and try to make themselves a bigger part of the issue, and then kind of push themselves out because we're like, "No, you can't do that." Like we kind of have to suppress what they're doing. And I was like, the way that he said that kind of just reminiscent of how if you look at like white people were also part of these civil rights movements, and now they're going to try like white people even during abolitionists. Now the whole narrative in schools is white people were abolitionists and white people freed the slaves and all that, and how they do the revisionist history and how they change what actually happened. Like we were out here freeing ourselves. We were the abolitionists. We caused the movement to be um, what it is. They have to like insert like retrospectively that they actually were there and they were the people that started up. And I know I don't want to. I don't know if he left already. I don't want to get on him too much because I know he was trying to be like respectful or whatever. But that that's just got to go. Like whenever every time somebody tries to come in and say that they started our movements, every time it's like they're taking from what we've done and they're bolstering themselves with it. And it's not just with that, it's with everything. It's the same with the like black fiction. It's the same with like any like how we built up all the Hollywood and now they're kicking us all out. It's like the same with every single industry. We built it, they take it over, and then they say we had nothing to do with it. So that's all I wanted to say, and I'll stop there.
Appreciate you, sister. Thank you for chiming in. Y'all, make sure y'all following the host and the co-host here on Twitter. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Definitely stay. If you want to stay up to date with news, you definitely need to go ahead and make sure you follow Newstoter. Over 20-25 articles a day we put out on Twitter. Loads of content, loads of content. If you want to stay up with what's going on in Black America from coast to coast, north to south, we keep you informed daily. We are the largest curator of Black news today in America, the largest Black news aggregator there is in America. Black owned, Black managed, Black run, all about Black people. So if you want to stay up to date, make sure you're following us on Twitter. You can support us on Cash App. That is $Cash App. $Cash App. I'm sorry, Lawrence, you had your hand up, so go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. Yeah. Shoot. Just a couple things I wanted to address. So when Friedman came up here and he started going in on everything about reparations and the police movement and all the stuff that we all agree with, when he got to LGBT, he stopped and said, "Well, what else that got to do with anything?" Then he talked about his agreement with that. That is the same thing that I said when I came on in the beginning. It is a complete different movement and different agenda that has absolutely nothing to do with us as Black people and our fight in this nation. Now, what I said in the beginning was highlighting where it goes. Anyone who came up here and they did talk about LGBTQ, especially with Eric, it had nothing to do with anything with us as Black people. It was what his thoughts are on this, that, and the other thing, which all had nothing to do with us. There are people with damn feathers and all sorts of shit in their profiles and things that I personally do not agree with. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, if you ask me personally, I think it's quite damn foolish. But I will respect those people directly. And, I'm not going to call you an Indian. I've never called anybody an Indian or anything like that, and I rock with a lot of people from those different groups. You can identify as a rabbit as long as you rock Black first. You know what I'm saying? That's good. If you want to have an intellectual conversation later on, we do that, and we can get into those things. as long as it's black fur. But I'm gonna respect you if you think that there was no slave ship, because people have said that. You know what I'm saying? And that, that's just my opinion. You got my respect as a human being. Now Eric, I don't agree with a lot of that person's stance. He's liberal. I'm old school. I'm gay. I don't know binaries and all this shit and stuff like that. But if you identify as a rabbit, I will call you a rabbit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to respect you to your face. We had that conversation. No, if you're born with a dick, you came in this man. I'm sorry, excuse my French, y'all. I apologize. You came in this world as a man, and that's where I believe, and we're gonna leave it there. If you disagree with me, hey, we'll leave it there. But for black issues, it's this damn criminal justice system and reparations at the end of the day. So both Enough and Happy Birthday Enough and Freeman, were really big on keeping it on track. A lot of us have grievances when it comes to LGBTQ stuff that we do feel, which is evident by certain people like Chase, have their own personal issues. But if you talk to a person, on their individual beliefs.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What kind of personal issues you think I got, bro?
First off, I didn't talk about your personal issues. You're talking about someone else's personal issues. You came in and you called out whether it was sexuality and all sorts of stuff that had nothing to do with our plight as black people. You said, as a matter of fact, out of your mouth, you said that gay people are your enemies. Okay, then so be it. Don't fuck yourself.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. Hold up, Lawrence. Respectfully, brother. Okay. Do you know why I talk to you on a daily basis in this space, Lawrence?
I think I do.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why, so that you will be clear. Because you've always said black first. You never said to me you was gay first. I speak to you on a daily basis, okay, brother, and done reached out to you. I can vibe with you. Somebody like that Eric Cat, they come in with a rainbow flag, okay? They come in, this dude sat up here and just his first post, his pinned post was a trans getting beat up by 30 dudes, 30 black men.
But Chase,
that's a jive. That's a jab to what's his name. So look, bro. I don't have
Wait. Let's just let him finish, and then Chase, hold on, because we got too many people talking over each other.
So my point, Chase, is that person identifies and lives a different lifestyle than me, right? Just looking at them. Now, I cannot tell that person what their experiences are in this world. He has his own grievances and his own agendas, and based on his lifestyle that he lives, that many of us will not experience. I really liked it when he kept it above and told the women that he can't tell no woman what it's like to be a woman, and he made sure he distanced himself from womanhood. I respected that because that's not your experience. You ain't no damn woman. You don't know what Annette goes through as a black woman dealing with her issues every single day with black men and the rest of his life. All you know is your trans issues or whatever. But he can't tell her, and all my respect is saying is we can't tell Eric. Or y'all can't tell me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all my thing was. So I'm passionate because I am black first. Because I came in this world as black first. And because I'm a black man, my biggest thing is I want to be accepted, respected, and loved by the people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. But yeah, and I respect you, Chase, because I'm in all your spaces all day long because they be good. They be on fire. So, but I land my plane. Let's go.
All right. Chase, we're going to get back to you, but we got some other people. We're going to go Brother Moku, Enough. Then we got you, Chase. Then we got Volvo. And then we got Guest Star again. So, Brother Moku, Brother Moku, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thanks, Newstoter. And peace to everybody again. I really didn't have a question, but I had I try to stay far away from statements, but I really can't. I really can't trust that a person or individual, period, that thinks a man or a person with a penis can be a woman could have any logical thought about reparations, economics, or anything on that type of level when you're dealing with and I'll call it what it is, a mental impairment like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just say to all my B1 brothers who know me in here and don't know me, if you ever approach me or you see me and I identify as a fucking orange, get me some fucking help. Don't fucking respect me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think that's like, I think that is a gateway to start confusion. Look at all the confusion that started in here. You know what I'm saying? Just by somebody that's sexually confused. You know what I'm saying? It's I mean, you're either one gender or the other. You know what I'm saying? All that binary shit, all that shit is confusion. And I just suggest that the family, when you even get close to that or get in a conversation about that, just stay clear of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about fighting racism, white supremacy, getting repair. See, this is the thing that I think a lot of the LGBT forget. We need repair. Sexual confusion, you need repair from that. So it ain't nothing about being organically fucking whatever you call gay is. I mean, gay mean happy to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the meaning of it in the dictionary. So, all that bisexual shit, I don't even understand what that is. You know what I'm saying? So once we start paying attention to the words that we use, I mean, come on, we got to pay attention to the words that we use and stick to the fucking words and stop playing this little word salad shit to get everybody confused. Because the one thing that's most important, the children are watching. Our children are watching this shit. And they watching us be confused about some shit that we totally should not be confused about. And we damn sure shouldn't be respecting that shit. Because what are you teaching your children to respect? Somebody that identifies a fucking orange? Nah, man. We gotta, once we start doing better, I mean, we gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? We can't know better and not do better. When you know better, you gotta fucking do better. You know what I'm saying? That shit is a mental impairment. It needs repair. That's what we fight reparations for. I land right there.
No doubt. And I see it's a decent amount of people that's in the space that's not following Newstoter. And everybody, all of my followers in here already know the kind of content we put out daily. So, like I said, if you're trying to stay up to date, if we in the technological age, the age of information, and all the other stuff that we say, then not following Newstoter makes absolutely no sense. If you want to stay up to date with black content from around the country, and we bring black content from around the world as well too, then follow Newstoter would be the thing to do. The largest black news curation site to date, the largest black news portal in all of America. So it definitely will behoove anybody that's in this space, that's listening to this space right here, and people can tell you that kind of content. You can ask Ray, you can ask Wani, you can ask Enough, you can ask Chase, you can ask Bolo, you can ask DJ, you can ask Brother Moku, you can ask pretty much anybody in here that's following news. So they're like, well, damn, yeah, they a machine. They pump out the content daily. So not following us really don't make any sense. So I would suggest anybody that's in this spot that's not following us, and I'm talking about those that have a FBA, a black first, a freedman, a black American type mindset. Even if you ain't from black, even if you ain't black American, if you black and you like black content, I'm sure if you black and you could be from overseas, you probably love black American content. It will behoove you to go ahead and follow Newstoter, the largest curator of black news today in America. My girl Enough, go ahead, Enough, and unmute your mic. Is Enough there? Birthday girl, where you at? Pull up.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. But anyways, I just don't understand how this whole conversation got on, like, gay people. Like, this whole conversation it's just about gay people, and like that is not something I really want to talk about for 2 hours about gay. None of us in here on this panel right now, we're not gay, and I just don't understand what we talking about gay stuff. Like we having like a serious identity crisis. Like, are we having a? I just don't understand. Like, we've been talking about this for hours, and I just don't understand. Like, none of us gay. Like, we don't even. We're not. I went to everybody's profile because I had to go see. Like, is y'all gay? Like, what is going on? I'm not even trying to be funny. I know y'all laughing at me, but that's why I raised my hand. Like, we really got to change the narrative right now. Like, we got to get that gay shit out of here.
Well, initially, now the conversation was on.
Newstoter, you didn't interrupt nobody else. Let me talk.
Conversation was strictly on defund the police. It was on reparations. And then when your boy came up in here, Eric came up in here, and it's just like it was just like a T.S. Giselle spotting or something. It just went.
I just don't understand. We not gay, y'all. We ain't gotta worry about that stuff. We just need to protect our kids. We know what to do, and just not saying exile them, but we ain't gay, y'all. We don't gotta sit and talk about this for hours. Hurting my head. I just don't know. I don't care about the letters. I don't care about the numbers, letters, whatever the fuck. I don't care about them. And I do feel that it was very disrespectful of him because I did have to go see after Chase. After Chase went to go look at his profile, I had to go see for myself, and I did go see. So I thought that was very disrespectful because damn well, gay people didn't have nothing to do with the civil rights movement or any type of movement. Okay, the only thing they worried about is seeing if they can cut their penises off and change that. But anyways, I'm not about to get into that. Okay, because I'm not gay. I don't care. But come on, let's just change the narrative, please.
Yeah, I mean, enough. And this is this was a town hall, and I wanted to talk about the two main issues of defund the police and reparations, and I put the LGBTQ in there as well because a lot of times they have been.
Yeah, but damn well you put that LBGTQ and they all coming. They come up in here. You get one weirdo, everybody gonna go crazy on that one weirdo. You know damn well that's gonna cause some because we're not gay. We're not gay. I'm not gay. You're not gay, Newstoter. And I know this is stuff you gotta report on, but it's been an hour, on one topic, and I'm kind of over it. I'm not gonna lie. I love you though. Peace, love, and reparations, y'all.
I appreciate it. Like you said, I try to in the room, in the spaces, I try to have like multiple. Sometimes we just do one topic, but a lot of times, I like to do multiple topics and whatnot. And you're right. Like I just kept waiting to see if everybody was gonna get back on track or whatever. But like I say, it's like it consumed everybody. Everybody wanted to ask Eric a question. Everybody just it was. And then once he started talking about the civil rights movement, and even before he got to the civil rights movement, you're still right. It was still based on this dude here, like I said, with all of because this is a town hall, so I want everybody to come in here, and I'm gonna do another town hall too. We got to find some more topics.
But please don't put the LBGTQ, whatever the fuck. Please don't put that in the title.
No, I won't do that again. No, I want to have a serious conversation, and this was serious to a certain degree, even with the LGBTQ, because you heard somebody else sitting up here telling you that basically they created a movement, and we kicked them out of it. Like, and if you have that kind of mindset, if you're telling other people that kind of garbage, then man, you're dangerous. Simply put, you're dangerous if you're sitting up here talking about black people who have created the most movements and things in the history of this country that they had to ride your coattails and they had to bully you and push you up out of here and be all mean and this and that. And you benefit from the struggle of black men getting their heads blown off and black women and everything else.
And that's why they got pushed out, Newstoter, because they're saying stupid shit like that. Ain't no black, you can't sit around no black person and say no stupid shit like that and not get slapped.
Yeah, because when I heard that,
that's fake news right off the top. That's a confused person creating fake news. Just talking about some LGBT started the civil rights movement. Man, get the fuck out of here. That shit was crazy.
Can I rebuttal real fast?
Well, Because Chase, Volvo, you next.
This is for enough though. This is for enough.
Go ahead.
I was called weird for asking that question. Like that was a weird question. I asked that question because I want to know who I'm talking to. If you can't answer what is a woman, just plain and simple, you go into some other shit. I know where your mindset at. Like I'm in the real world. I interact with all types of people. So that's not a real question. When Lawrence came up here, he's LGBT as well. He said it plain and simple. What a man was and what a woman was.
When you asked him that same question, because I wasn't.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't get a chance to ask him that. But he answered it anyway.
But my thing is,
I was going to ask him.
Okay, but you didn't. And my thing is this: you shouldn't be asking, in my opinion, because a man, not even you, can tell me what a woman is. Only a woman knows what a woman is. Just like I can't tell you who a man is because I'm not a man. I'm not a man, and I'm never going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the fuck a man is and what
that's not true. Genetically.
Okay, if you're talking about on paperwork and what's between my legs and what's between your legs, yes, I know what it is. But what I'm saying is, on an emotional level and all the things, there's more to a woman than what is just between her legs, besides my vagina between my legs.
Like what?
The stuff that I go through, the stuff that you don't know that I go through. You don't know stuff that I go through.
I don't know. Enlighten me, sis.
No, but that's not for me to enlighten you. It's just something. It's certain things that people just need to stay in their lane about. I'm not trying to jump over into the men's lane, and men should not try to jump over into women's lane. And that's just being respectful about the whole situation. I'm not trying to figure out what you are going through on a mental level as a man. Yes, I know you are a man because you have a penis. I know that I'm a woman because I have a vagina.
Well, let me say this, right?
That's no debating that. Sir.
Okay, well, let me say this, right? I like
a male, what a woman is.
Because I understand what the community is trying to push. Understand this, though, right? I'm not really understanding why is this such a triggering question or why is this such a tough question to answer. I'm not really understanding why that triggered you like that. That was nothing that was. I wasn't disrespectful.
First of all, it didn't trigger. You know why it triggered me? Because you're asking another man about what it is. Do you know what it is? Do you know what a woman is? Like, who? I mean, they do this all the time. They ask men all the time, what do you know what a woman is? It's disrespectful to us. You don't go to no man. I'm not going to go to a woman that says that she's a trans man or whatever and be like,
why is that
you
question
know what
coming
it is
up?
to be a man? That's
Why is that
disrespectful to men. You cannot.
Okay, sis. Why is that question coming up in 2022? That's a hot topic. If what is a woman is a hot topic in 2022, we're having a problem here. We're having a problem. We're having a problem with reality. So that's why I asked him, because he's from that community. I want to know what his position is.
His position is not to answer. His position and your position and any other man on this motherfucking platform is not your fucking position to answer what a woman is. Because you can't answer what a woman is. You don't even go through what a woman goes through.
Well, at this point, women can't even answer what a woman is. That's how much confusion is in the game. When they ask that, when they ask
because Chase has been waiting. It was actually Chase's turn, Volvo, and you wanted to ask her a question. That's why I said, well, Chase, Volvo, wait for a second. You're like, well, no, I just wanted to rebut. I just wanted to ask her. Because I was going to go to Chase. We still had Chase turn. We still had guest star. We still had Black Native. So I was trying to go ahead and move the room around. I was going to get you was after Chase. It was Chase, then your go, then guest star, and Black Native. But then you went ahead and you said you wanted to rebuttal. You kind of wanted to ask her a question. So the reason I'm going to go ahead and move on now, because then those other people are going to continually wait, because y'all having a dialogue right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to guest star. since you went ahead and you started talking, we're gonna come back to you. So let me go ahead and go to guest star. Then we go to Black Native. Unmute the mic. Guest star, go ahead and unmute it. Hello?
Sorry, I got a fan going. I hope you can't hear.
No, you fine. Go ahead.
I forgot to mention when I was on my fuel, I got caught up in the LGBT issues. But I meant to say about the defund, because I know some people getting a little bit confused about what it means to defund the police. So for defunding the police, it's not like, if you think about what the police do, they only respond to a crime after it has happened. It's a reactive result. It's not, they don't stop crime. They just stop people who already committed a crime and then throw them in jail. And jail, as we know, is like prison. And they don't, like, all your stuff that you're getting. I just found out today that Great Value, all the stuff that Great Value is made in prisons. They had them out here making masks, and they weren't allowed to have masks in the beginning of the pandemic. And all of the stuff that like the government makes and uses and such, anything made in America, most likely is made in prisons. So we know it's like a extension of slavery, right? So what the police do is they just kind of push people into that slavery position. And I'm not saying like there's like a special need for like the SWAT and like the FBI and things of that nature, but for the actual like the police, what do? Somebody breaking your house, they take a report. Somebody you sitting on I-90 and then you driving, you get caught speeding, and then they give you a ticket. They're not actually doing anything except for siphoning people and finances out of the community. So when they say defund the police, they're saying we know how to stop crime for real. Most crimes is because you stealing because you don't got enough money. You're like a lot of the violence is because you don't have enough of, like, you're not getting what you need from the community at large, and you're just like you have to lash out in some way. Like black people, it said, oh, black people are so violent and stuff. It's like black people had so much violence taken upon us. We don't get any release on that. You know what I'm saying? And now they say, oh, you're violent because you respond with that energy of violence that you receive. So that's what I'm saying. Like with the police thing, there's not really one thing that the police are doing better that we couldn't do to just finance, community to make sure like stuff like this doesn't happen. A lot of the crimes, the petty crimes and whatnot, we don't need police for that. And especially when they add police to that, it elevates the violence level. Because before it was just two people having an argument. Now it's two people or it's three people, and one of them has a gun, and they're telling you to get on the ground, And they say, oh, we're gonna do some de-escalating training. That never works. We've been trying to de-escalate for 12 years, or for like 10 years since Black Lives Matter became a thing, and they haven't been de-escalating. They just say that so that they can continue being mobsters and white supremacists and stuff. Now, I was like defunding the police is a way to like transition us into a society that actually funds the civilians, because when you have the police have 50% of the state's budget, they're taking money from schooling, from education. They're taking money from healthcare. So now everybody's running around with illnesses they can't even help, or mental health care. They're taking money out of that so they can give it to the police officers so they can go around and catch the truant individuals who aren't skipping school, or they can go because school is garbage because they defunded all the money, or they can take anybody with a mental health illness because we don't have any mental health services, and that's how it's been projecting. I'm sorry, I meant to be brief, but so with the defunding is they literally are funding the police right now, taking money out of places where it could be better use. Like if we had mental health services that and like homeless services, I think like I can't remember the percentages, but like that is like 30-something% of all the police activity is on like these people. So if we took that out, they would have less work. So why would they need that money? Because it have a direct impact. And basically, we take the money that because they're not working anymore in that, and put it in the services to actually help the individuals and the people who are impacted. So it's like an actual methodology. And for my last note, I'm sorry. Basically, there's like I don't know if you know anything about restorative justice, but like what we have right now, our justice system is really trash. So if somebody commits a crime against you, you don't get, like, somebody steals your car, the police will take notes, and they will either never find your car, so you just are out of vehicle, you can't go to work, or they do find your vehicle, they'll impound it because it'll probably be in a place where it's not supposed to be. You then have to pay to get the vehicle out, and if anything's stolen, or if you can't pay to get it out, it goes to the police auction, and they can take your car. And so it's like it's like a cycle of revolving into poverty. And with restorative justice, it'll be like somebody stole your car, and the community will be more involved because we know it's not just let's send somebody to jail. It'll be, okay, so and so we think may have been involved in stealing your car because we saw him joyriding, and then you get to get your car back at a faster rate, and also you get to face that person and say, this is what you did to me, and this is why it impacted me. This impacted my job, and they have to then try and make it right. So they don't just go to jail and then they don't have any way to come to you and make it right. It's like they then have to, pay for your lost wages, so they have to get a job and work and pay for that, or they have to it's a system that tries to make things right rather than tries to punish someone, and it's for a lot of things. Like I remember there was one about spray paint, and somebody had spray painted somebody's business, and then they had to go and take down, like they had to spend the rest of the day wiping the walls down to restore because they spray painted the business. It's a way of communicating in a community that's not just you spray painting somebody's business, now you go to juvie for 6 months. So that's a little bit of how it may look like a little bit of a transition. It's a whole mind shift. So I'm gonna end here because I know I've been long. Sorry.
Okay, well, we appreciate it, sister. Thank you. Thank you for contributing to the nice discussion, and make sure you come to future spaces that we have. We're gonna Chase. I'm sorry, man. I meant for you to go. I meant for you. You were actually supposed to go before a guest. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you unmute your mic. But before I do, I need you guys, if you can, to support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Support the new black media. Support the biggest new black media outlet there is. And like I said, we're not asking for you to break the bank. If you got $1 that you can contribute to us, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Just if you have $1 that you don't mind contributing, that's $Newstoter, $Newstoter. We haven't got any love tonight, period. So any love that we can get would greatly be appreciated. I want to thank my host, DJ, who did contribute on Cash App. And I want to thank Brother Mocha, who actually contributed before the actual Twitter space even started. Outside of that, we haven't got any love, and anything would be greatly appreciated. Like I say, we put it back into the actual system, and we try to put it out and use it so we can curate more content and get it to you so you guys don't have to go. We bring it right to you here on Twitter, so you don't have to leave Twitter. We put it right there. Then you can go to Newstoter and you can read the article. So if you guys have $1 that you want to contribute on Cash App, that is $Newstoter. I will repeat that again. $Newstoter. We're the largest curator, the largest news curation platform, black-owned platform in America today. So $Newstoter. And Chase, thank you for waiting patiently. Like I say, that was my bad because you were supposed to actually go next. So go ahead and unmute your mic, bro. We're gonna be ending this soon because we're gonna go Chase, we're gonna go Black Native, and then we're gonna go Volvo. So Chase, go ahead and mute your mic.
Yeah, give thanks, man. Respect to everybody in the room, man. Respect to my sisters. I want us to realize something, okay? every instance that's happening out here in our world is a crime. You know, there, believe I work in transportation. I deal with the DOT. You wouldn't believe the amount of accidents that happen on a daily basis. At one project that I worked on, and that was widening up 20 out there in Bremen, there was like literally 8 people died. Just regular persons driving cars, man. Regular people. The crux of all that happened when they killed a little 26-year-old black teacher. You know what I mean? A tractor trailer just came and mowed down like 26 cars. Okay, so when we say we're going out here to defund the police, there's other functions in society where the police are needed. You know what I mean? They literally had to cut this sister out from up underneath of a tractor trailer. And she stayed in a coma for like 3 days before she died. It was the police that was out there. Then the fire trucks came with the jaws of life. You know what I mean? We're sitting out here and we're saying, oh, crime this and crime that. I want y'all folks to be aware of when you watch these different news, mainstream media and stuff like this, they always paint a narrative that they want you to follow. That's why y'all people need to follow the new black media, the big 3, the brothers that's putting in real work like Newstoter and Keith. When they tell you that they curating news, that's letting you know that you are getting news that directly affects you. Now, when you go watch mainstream media news and everything like that, they tell you about all these crimes and they don't never tell you nothing good. That weighs in on your psyche. You would fall into that line and say, yeah, well, we need to defund the police. And I have to counter argue, no, we don't need to defund the police. We need to get those white supremacist crackers, devils out of there, out the police department. We do need to do that. But I know from personal experiences and just, man, listen, there was 1,400 people that died on fucking highways in the state of Georgia last year. 1,400 people. Okay? Everything isn't just about a crime, a murder, or some brothers getting shot in the hood, or white supremacists going to kill them. There's actually other functions. So I just want y'all to look at that. I'll never cape for the police. Never. Don't take me as I'm caping police. I'm just letting you know that there's other functions of society where the police emergency services are needed. You know, and we're talking about doing that in our community. Well, brothers need to be able to step up and fill in all of those that are required. You know what I mean? Do you know how to give out CPR? Do you know how to stop a person from bleeding out if they lost a limb? Do you know how to apply a tourniquet? You know, those type of things. So, you know, we can't get up here and talk about, we want to defund the police. Nah. I think objectively, if we're going to say we're going to defund the police, let's talk about getting rid of that qualified immunity. Okay? Because you want to stop a lot of this bullshit, get rid of qualified immunity. Qualified immunity means that these police, if they make a mistake, they can go ahead and get by and you don't have no civil recourse because they were just doing their job. Well, let me tell you, down here in the state of Georgia, these folks went in, they threw a fucking excuse my language, pardon self, ladies. They threw a flashbang grenade in through the front window. that landed inside of a little crib of a little Mexican baby and then went off. Bang that baby all up. Thankfully that baby's still alive. And, the Spanish folks, they were terrified. The whole time, they got the wrong address. But because they said that they were in the scope of doing their job and they got the wrong address, that they shouldn't be held liable for that. That's a sad situation. And in the same state, they also got a brother, an older man like that. He's sitting inside of his crib. They threw some flash bangs up in there, scared the hell out of him. He didn't know what the hell was going on because the police got lost in the woods when they were coming up on the house. The whole time that they're harassing this black man, pointing guns at him, tear gassed him, sprayed him, and all that. The culprit is on the other side of the duplex, and he got the hell on. But they didn't hold those. They gave those police qualified immunity. So I believe that hurting these people and being effective in hurting these people would be getting rid of qualified immunity, because it just allows them to say, I'm white and I say so. I think that's a nice start. I'll land my plane on that.
Can I respond real quick?
Wait. Who's that speaking?
Guest star.
No guest star, because we got a few more people that we're gonna get if we got a chance to get to. Because we got Volvo, we got Black Native, and Upline, because we're gonna be closing out the space in a little bit here soon. So if we have a chance to get back to you, sister, we'll get back to you. But let us go ahead and try to get to these people first, and we'll see if we have time, because we're gonna be closing the space out soon. So we'll see if we have additional time. We'll go ahead and we'll get back to you.
It was Black Native before me. I was after her.
It was Black Native. Okay, Black Native, Volvo, and then I'm gonna let Aunt Lai come up here. So, Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic. And y'all, hold on before y'all go. Make sure that we'll be closing out soon. So, 2 minutes or less.
Okay. No disrespect, Chase, but we all live in America, so we actually get to see everything. We don't live in like tunnels or whatnot, so we know exactly what's going on with the police department. So you telling us about mainstream media? I hope none of us is still watching that, but maybe some of us are still doing that. I don't watch it, so I actually watch New Black Media. I've been doing that for the past maybe 10 years. But what you spoke on, what was it called? The immunity, whatever. Where you saying that make the cops make them responsible for the crimes and the murders that they commit. They didn't just pass that law. Like, didn't they just make that a law this year?
No, they haven't. They qualified immunity to be holding them responsible, and they haven't done it.
So they haven't. So there is no qualified immunity right now for the police.
Well, they have qualified immunity, but they haven't ended it. It's the police and public officials almost untouchable when it comes to corruption and stuff like that.
Right. So
the reason, hold on, sister, real quick, respectfully, the reason why they created qualified immunity was to give those racist cops during the time at the beginning of the civil rights movement and stuff like that with Bull Connor and all those guys. That's why qualified immunity was created, so that they could get away with doing harm to black people.
Right.
And just recently, into modern times, it morphed into, well, I'm white, not say so, and we can escape from liability because the police could escape liability because they got qualified immunity, and that just means, hey, we were just doing our job. But we all know that these police not doing a job, you know what I mean? Like finding out exactly where a house is that you're supposed to be doing a warrant in and stuff like that. The little young brother that they ran in, opened up the door and then shot him while he was, getting up out of his thing. You know, they get qualified immunity for that because they said that they were doing their job. And I say that's some bullshit. You can't say you was just doing your job, because if you're the professional, got these standards, okay, how the hell did y'all get a key to get into that young man's house in the first place? You know what I mean? And those are the type of things. So we got to look at the history of where qualified immunity and how it came about. It was used as a protection so that old Klansmen and old corrupt police guys like Bull Connors and stuff like that could get away with doing shit to black people because it was just us doing our job. And now when we get into modern time, they morphed it and they used it to still protect them to get away with stuff. You know what I mean? It's like those guys that shot
Chase, let her get back to it real quick though.
I appreciate the breakdown. Okay, qualified immunity. What I would say that would probably resolve all of this, and I just want to give an example. Reparations would pretty much dissolve all of this because middle class to rich class black people don't commit crimes. So it's income based. It's poverty. That's what generates crimes in our communities. Now you got rich white folks that got all the money and they still committing crimes, but I don't know too many middle class or upper class black people out here robbing motherfuckers. So if we get our reparations, when we get our reparations, that will solve the economic deficiency that's in our community. And also, most of the sister that was speaking before, the whole justice system generates off of black bodies in the prison system, going to the courts, paying the fines, paying the tickets. We run the actual justice systems in our cities because when you go to court, who do you see? Majority of black people paying not to go to jail, paying speeding tickets, paying attorneys, paying this. So they basically got us in a catch-22. And see, that's where they want to keep us. So if you talking about removing qualified immunity, which they're not going to do because they would have done it, we can't even get a hate crime bill. So I believe reparations will resolve a lot of issues. We won't probably have Pookie and Ray Ray robbing people in the neighborhood because they got money to be able to maintain themselves. And so that's the fight I'm looking at. And I'll land my play on that.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate it. Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right. Yeah, I just want to say, if people talking about defund the police, this is a person that don't really understands how this world works. You need the police. The problem that we having is with the white people, like I said before. It's not the badge. It's not the police uniform that's committing the crimes and doing the misconduct that the police is doing. It's the person wearing it. You're going to need police in any society under the sun. There will always be a criminal element. There will always be a bad guy. There will always be somebody that wants to go against the rules, that wants to break the rules. And it needs to be someone there to give punishment, to stop them from doing that. There is countries without a police force. They are all third world countries, period. I know that people want to talk with their feelings and with their hearts and say, well, the Black Panthers did this and that, and we can police our own communities. You gotta prove it. Do it. Start doing it. Start doing it. Start doing it. If you're not doing it, you're just talking. It's just all talk. You need a police force. Without the police, you are going to have anarchy in the street. The society will break down. We will have lawlessness. We will have lawlessness in the street. I want to touch my last topic is on earlier. About the what is a woman thing. I said that because we're starting to slide as a society when we can't answer a simple question like what is a woman. Then if we can't answer that, we start having men masquerading as women, going into the women's bathroom, going into women's sports, beating up women. We start having men that just weird men that just want to dress up and go to prison and get women pregnant in prison. Because now we can't answer that simple question because we're afraid to say the wrong thing. Like, come on, somebody got to check this stuff. Somebody got to check this stuff. I want to say this before I was cut off earlier, right? I said at this point, women can't even identify what a woman is. That's a tough question for a woman now. I knew what a woman was before I knew my colors. I knew that my sister was a girl and I was a boy. I knew that. We just watched. For anybody that's keeping up on current events, we just sat here and watched Ketanji Brown Jackson get asked in front of the world, "What is a woman?" And she could not answer it. She know very well what a woman is, but she got to play the game. She got to play the game. She can't say the wrong thing in front of these people. And they asked her that on purpose. They asked her that on purpose. What is the Republicans asked her that on purpose because they know the type of crowd that you run with. They know what the Democratic Party is about. So they purposely asked her that, knowing that she wouldn't be able to answer it the correct way, so they can hold that over her head later. They gonna always bring that up. That question is gonna follow her because she couldn't stand up and do the right thing and say the right thing. I'm gonna close with this. A man has a penis and a woman has a vagina. Thank you, Newstoter. I appreciate you. You always got some great spaces.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming in because I know you can always give your opinion and whatnot. Whether sometimes I don't agree with it, but nonetheless, you make for an interesting conversation. So definitely appreciate you coming in. And let me tell everybody, I'm gonna go. Aunt Lai is supposed to be our absolute last speaker tonight. So I'm gonna let Aunt Lai come in. And then Brother Moku and guest, if we have time, we're going to go ahead because the space has already been over 3 hours. We don't want any long. I don't want anybody to normally don't cut the mic, but I will cut it. Like, we're going to go ahead and it's going to be 2 minutes or less. As like to say, the space has been over 3 hours long. And we definitely got to go ahead and try to go ahead and put it into this space. I know some people like 6, 7, 8 hour spaces, but I ain't doing it straight up. So, Aunt Lai, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? I'll make it quick. As far as the criminal justice and the immunity, what people need to understand, the job of the police, the reason why you should not only defund the police, the reason why you should defund the whole system, because the whole system is BS. The police are not needed. The person, I don't know who it was, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but for you to say we need the police because somebody needed CPR, the average person can train teenagers in high school for CPR. The only job of the police, and this is what people don't understand, this is why people are confused by why would somebody get murdered. The job of the police, according to the United States Constitution, is for them to make people slaves. That's why what they do, they murder people without immunity, and they have the qualified immunity law. Their job is to catch slaves, period. That is their only job. If you have an accident on the side of the road and you need an emergency evacuation or whatever, you get the fire department and they come out with the jaws of life and all the other stuff. The police is not needed. To have the police in existence is only to catch slaves and to make sure that black people are slaves. That's why I wrote my book. Read the book, allegedly.com, regarding the criminal justice system, because we are brainwashed to believe that we need them and we see that they don't do anything. Because everything somebody said that they do, CPR, we can train other people for CPR. You get a social worker, traffic control. You can hire traffic officers with the Department of Transportation to do accidents on a highway. You don't need the police for that. So the police is not needed. You shouldn't just defund the police, defund the entire criminal justice system, including the courts, including the prisons with mass incarceration. The whole system is only there, according to the U.S. Constitution, not my opinion, according to the U.S. Constitution, the whole purpose of the criminal justice system is to enslave black people. The 13th Amendment says, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for a crime. That is their only job. I land my plane.
That's what I'm talking about, Eli. You better come through.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate you coming through. And this sister has a book out there. Please go ahead and support her. Aunt Lai, did you put your book in the jumbotron? You should have came up earlier so you could put your book up there in the jumbotron, sweetie.
Yeah, I just put it in there. I just put it in as the first one on the left. Support sister.
Yeah, definitely. Next time, come up early, get in the speaker spot so you can go ahead and promote that book, man. I bought one, so y'all go ahead and support my sister and whatnot. Help her out. I believe it is like I said, we're gonna do Brother Moku and guest, and then we're gonna be getting up out of here. So Brother Moku, go ahead and unmute your mic. I think it's guest. So guest, yeah. Let's not make this as long as before, but go ahead and unmute your mic, sister, and go ahead. 2 minutes or less.
I'm gonna be short. I promise. Almost don't even need to say anything because she done said everything. But somebody said, oh, if we defund the police, it'll be chaos. The police get on average 50% of the state's budget for every service. So, and a lot of times people are talking about CPR. They are not trained in CPR, and even those who are, they are trained poorly and not as well as an EMT. All these services y'all are spreading out, that's EMT services, and there are so many other services that the police are trying to encompass that doesn't make any sense. And finally, the police went on strike because they had killed somebody and they were about to lose their immunity or something in New York for 210 days or something. You can look it up. And crime went down. So when people say, "Oh, it'll be lawlessness," no, you don't even notice the police because the police don't stop crime. They I'm sorry, I don't know who that was.
Who said that? Who said that?
That's a new speaker up here. You just put him up here.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going to speak.
Oh yeah, but
Hey, the devil is a liar. Please don't speak while anybody's speaking, please.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, online.
I was just gonna say that crime went down, and they still.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, guess. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guess. I'm sorry.
You fine. They still have they still get 50% of the budget for all health and services. You talk about all these EMT services, but they're defunding the EMTs to go to the police, and you talk about all these services about financial aid. They're defunding financial aid to go to the police. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, Brother Moku. Go ahead, brother, and go ahead and say what you got to say.
Just gonna keep it real short. Definitely, police need to be eliminated. Before that, yeah, definitely talking about emergency response here. I even got my CPR defibrillator cert. You can get it $60. You can go to a center around your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Anyone can do that. And I just want everybody to think about reparations as far as as far as the rally. What do people think? What do the B1 fan think about? Disturbing white supremacy on a business day. You know what I'm saying? And it's lawlessness right now with the police in power or whatever. You know what I'm saying? With this white supremacist system controlling it now. It's lawlessness now. So to say without police it'll be anarchy, it's anarchy now. So I'll land right there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I should be able to say something. It's my birthday. I should at least get to say something. I should be the last speaker. But I'll let it pass this time.
Look, it's your birthday. You're about to get muted soon. No?
And I will start my own segment.
The devil is a liar. Because you said something as the sister was speaking. You got something to say? The devil is a liar, because we're going to be getting ready to close this out. Do you have something to say? Because you were speaking, I know, while the sister was speaking. Do you have anything you want to add? Going once, going twice. The devil's a liar. Do you have anything to say? Alrighty, I guess not. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead enough and let you get something in before I let Ray and DJ say something before we close out the spot.
I would like to say this space was very productive. sorta, until we got to the gay part. But otherwise, it's very productive. So many coons, but it's okay. And I love all of you guys. Okay, thank you, Newstoter. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, A-Live. Thank you, Black Native. Thank you to everybody in the audience. I love all of you guys. You know who I'm talking to. If I don't fuck with you, if I block you, you know what it is. Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's it. Get me off this mic, Newstoter.
Okay. I also want to thank Brother Moku for your contributions on Cash App throughout the night. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it so much. Always been loyal to the platform. Please don't change. We need that support. We need that help. So definitely thank you. And I want to thank everybody that came out. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to Ray. My man Ray filled in as a co-host tonight. Ray, you got something to say too? Because I forgot, man, with all of you. So even though this wasn't a huge space like we have sometimes, it still had a lot of people asking questions, which is always good because I don't like carrying the conversation. I do like having feedback. I like people engaging. So if y'all want to keep being an engaging room, I suggest y'all come to Newstoter spaces because we do have great content. We're gonna start back doing some news cycles as well too. I miss doing like little news reports. Like having the spaces is good and stuff with one topic and whatnot, but I like keeping everybody informed on what's going on in Black America as well too. So Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic, man, and say what you want to say. Then DJ, and then I'll close it out. And also, before my man Ray come up here, like I say, we've been asking all night. Contribute on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Go ahead, Ray. You there, Ray?
Right to the past out.
I know, right, Ray?
Used to be up, but I know you got to get up in about a couple of hours. So
I know, right? Ray be going to sleep sometimes out here, but
we're up. But hey, nah, there you go. Come
there
on
you go.
up, man. Wake up, man. You know what I mean? It's time to go to work, but you got to get this word in, you know what I'm saying?
Ray, you want to go ahead and say something, man, before we get ready to close?
He probably waving his hand that he can't. He probably in the Matrix, right? You're in the Matrix.
Okay.
You're in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? That's SOS. That's SOS. That's SOS, right? You know what I'm saying?
DJ, you go ahead and say something, and I'll get the final word.
Hey man, everybody done said everything that needed to be said. We agree. I just want to apologize for coming up here late. You know, Twitter ain't shit. You know what I mean? You see, got my man Ray in the jail right now. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. Meet your mic, Ray. Come back up. Real talk, yo. But you know, everybody said everything we normally say on a daily basis. The only argument is, you know, what are the solutions and are we implementing them? That's all it really is. And you know, I'm about the reparations all day. To fund the police. You know, only people that's really gonna be about or should be about that is people that ain't career criminals. Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that, you know, police is needed to a certain extent, but maybe we could reclassify that part of the emergency services to something else. I don't know.
But look real quick. Twitter switched me and made me the co-host and made you the host.
Oh shit, damn.
What?
Oh shit.
Yo, that's what I was gonna tell you. This thing has kicked me out this space like 6 times. It says I was a co-host, but then it said I had to request to speak to you. I was like, oh my god, this thing is bugging tonight.
Yeah, this thing, we got DJ the host, you the co-host. I'm in the host spot, but DJ is the host. Like,
nah, I still say I'm co-host and Ray co-host, and you the host on my side.
For real, it's a co-host for me, and this got me and Ray the co-host, and this got you as the host.
Oh shit, I'm top dog, man. Can't fuck with these. You know what I'm saying?
Ray, you got something you want to say?
What up, Ray? What's up, my boy?
No, that was basically one of what I wanted to keep telling you guys. Like, it just kept, like I said, I've had to try to get in this thing like 6 different times. It just kept kicking me out. And I wanted to just get your perspective on 2 things. Newstoter before we left the space. The first one was Ralph Warnock and Herschel Walker. I know we're not talking politics tonight, but I wanted to ask you. They're having a debate on October 17th. And I was wondering where you're going to do a space on that.
When is that date there?
October 16th, sorry.
Oh, yeah, just keep me posted. Yeah, you know, that's a ways away, but yeah, we could definitely do that. Yeah.
The Battle of the Butter Biscuits.
Oh, yeah, we can We can definitely, just keep me posted on that. Just keep me in the loop, and we can definitely do that, no doubt.
Okay, and my second question: when are you gonna have another space and just talk about like entertainment and stuff? Because I just want to get your perspective. Because you're from Tallahassee, about the whole T-Pain saying Tupac was better than
I heard that. Like I mean, I almost fell out my chair.
What T-Pain say now? What did he just say?
He was talking about that Tupac would get killed lyrically today or some crap. So I was like, yeah, okay. Right.
Wow, yo, T-Pain just need to be quiet, man. He get on my nerves, yo, for real.
Yeah, T-Pain need to go take a nap on that one.
For real. Because it was never about the lyrics. It's all about the substance and the subject matter of hip hop. You know what I mean? T-Pain can't do Ambitious of a Rada. He can't do California Love. You know what I'm saying? He can't do Brenda's Got a Baby. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about that life. You know what I'm saying?
We can definitely do another entertainment. We'll do it. Like I said, we're gonna be doing football when football season come up. We're gonna be doing some football spaces and stuff too. I want to do once a week NFL and college and put a little bit of entertainment into it. We're gonna definitely keep the news and the content coming, but we're gonna definitely have some entertainment as well. Some different things.
That's gonna be a long space. You already know. We start talking football.
Oh yeah. You know that. So we go ahead and close it out. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Everybody for contributing. Who did contribute on Cash App. Next time, y'all show brother a little bit more love so we can get this work out there. But I appreciate everybody who did come through, who spoke. It was a good space. I know they said we got sidetracked a little bit, which we did. But nonetheless, I appreciate everybody who came, who listened, who talked, who shared the space out. So thank everybody who came, man. Like, I definitely appreciate you guys. We'll probably be back either Sunday or Monday, more likely Monday. So until then, y'all just check out my man Kid the Productions spaces. They do a late night or whatever. I don't know if DJ gonna do one tonight, late night, but I'm sure he'll have some coming up either tomorrow or whatever. Y'all check out all the people that's in here. Make sure you follow the host and the co-host and support us on Cash App for those that can. That is $Newstoter. And until then, we will see you guys either Sunday or Monday. Y'all have a good one.
Reparations up. One love, black people.
No doubt.